How better trade, man? Yep, wrong screen.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And yes, there is stuff happening right now in these here markets. We're going to get to that in a hot second. Let's just see what we've got for everybody over here weaseling in on out from the other stream. I'm just trying to manage my position over here, and then I'm also listening to myself echo because I've got the stream simultaneously. Yes, all right, everybody's racing in. We got Rishi, Desai, we got the OG Bovin. Shout out to Mike, P, D Ryder, the others, Dylan, Bilal Khan, and Ayo Lewis. We got the Hog Rider, baby. He's yelling about Amazon. He knows what the Katina Man's been up to. MAP, we got Paul Thomas, Covalence, and 420 Bud Monster. Shout out to the Skips 8 and Jezzy El Problema. All right, that should be you right there doing that whole thing right there. Unlimited Potential, we got Hip, Durant, Stevenson, ATM, B-Trader. We got Doc Inc., we got Mr. Ian, Havana Woody, one of the OGs. We got Since Love, Travis Morton, Live, Love, and Sale, Jake Watson, Vinay Menon, James Willis, David Diaz, Derek, OK State, Blakely, shout out to Frank Trades, and the Wisdom of Life. Yusuf in the house. That's my cousin's name, and it's like his Arabic name. Aziz Al. We got Mike, Oliver, and Jugger-Nut.
Ooh.
All right, Jugger-Nut.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how that cookie crumbles, Adara. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm going to get to my positions in a second, but I'm just going to send it to you so I can manage all these.
Yeah, guys, what's going on? I hope everyone's having a solid day. I'm short the market. We can pull up my screen here. You can see that Google and Amazon are relatively strong. If we can pull up my screen here, then that's going to tell a lot. All right, never mind
his screen, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. He was talking to Fabian.
Yeah,
no problem.
So I might have to hop in out of this right now because Amazon's really strong, Microsoft is really strong, and so is Google. All right, so this is really dragging things up right now. I'm still holding on to the majority of my position. I did have a bid out right here to see if we can catch a fill. But yeah, everything's super, super strong. We need things to cool down in order for this to work. And that's the thing about trading the broader market, right? You got to keep an eye on the Mag 7, especially the top names, especially when you're trying to short the Qs here. So that is our game plan. Nvidia is starting to come back in. Google will hopefully put in a top. And we need Microsoft to cool down a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to be in some trouble, Sharif.
Okay, sir. All right, so I was yelling about Workhorse when Neil and Sean were on. I'll get to that one in a second because I've taken out the majority of the position. I'm in another one. As you can see on the screen, we're in sorry guys, sorry, I'm so sorry. ZEPP, it's having trouble with $9 over here. We've wet the beak a couple of times. We're long at double eights, $8.88. I perceive there to be support at around the two-thirds of a dollar, hence why I put a dip trade in and around there. Alas, it did not come down into that level. It's a bit of a spreadier one. Let me just tell you guys about this right now. 7 penny, 6 penny spread on ZEPP. But we'll see if this one wants to clear 9. It's already got a 927 high, but it looks like the seller is hanging around that $9 area because we can't seem to shake them. Only about 25, what is that? That's 48, 49 lots posted there at $9 that we can't seem to shake. So to me, it just screams of hidden buyer. We're going to keep an eye out on that one. Workhorse is the one that I took over here. I perceive this to be a bull flag, and that was the bull flag breakout. That's why I got in right on the top end of the range right there. I had an order to DCA into what I perceive to be a little bit of a midpoint between the top end of the wicks and the top end of the closing prints. It didn't come into that, so we've wet the beak there all the way up into 90. I've got a next beak wetter there into 97, so we'll see if this one wants to pop back up, but right now it is hanging out a little bit in the mid area between the breakout area and the area top. So I'm going to leave this order over here active. We'll keep that on the lookout. Hey, yo, Lewis, I just need Sharif to give a shout out to PSG. Look, Paris Saint-Germain is the real damn deal. They walked all over Real Madrid like they don't even matter, like they don't have Bellingham, like they don't have Vinny, like they don't have anybody else. Mbappe, where are you at, bro? You're playing against your old team, and that's what you're going to come with. I get it. You're coming back from injury, this, that, and the other. You didn't show up yesterday. All of Real Madrid did not show up yesterday. And I predict Paris Saint-Germain walks through Chelsea like a hot knife through butter.
Wow.
All right? It's going to be that much of a shellacking. Chelsea is not anywhere near the class of Paris Saint-Germain, and that's just the way I feel. Unbelievable game. You gotta see, it was an ass whooping.
Was it?
It was an old-fashioned ass whooping by Paris Saint-Germain. They're doing it live in the United States because that's where the Club World Cup is.
Damn. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
So shout out to AU Lewis. I hope you got your money's worth and some.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not feeling 100%, to be honest with you. But here we are, uplift markets. Hey, Joseph, I'm looking to play some calls on Google on the swing towards my price target, 193. What are your thoughts for best strikes to go for? It all depends what your plan is, right? So if you're looking to gain intrinsic and extrinsic value, you can just go at the money. But if you really want to gain that time value, then you want to go out the money. But for starters, it sounds like I would most definitely lean towards at the money. It's the most simplistic, to be honest with you. You got to understand what you're doing if you're trading ITMs and OTMs, all right? But yeah. And thank guys for the hail, the shout outs on all that Bitcoin talk. Much appreciated. I mean, we've been cooking up those contracts. They're doing really, really well for us right now. So, but we don't want to get too ahead of our game plan, right? We have a specific price target and we're going to hold on to that. But other than that, I can't complain, right? It's working out really, really well. My average price is $9.30 on those contracts. I don't even know what they're trading at right now, to be honest with you. We can take a look at that. So, IBIT, Let's pull that up. Let's pull up the options chain on that. I'm sure I'll liven up a little bit here, but like I said, not feeling 100%. Let's see what the 62s are now. We're $12.30. Let's go. Yeah. Cash money. Spin the. There we go.
Absolutely.
Spinning money. Yeah. We're doing really, really good on this one.
Doing it live, too.
But yeah. That's the game plan here. Let's see if we can catch a fill on the TQs. We're starting to head down. We're starting to come back in. If Microsoft starts to participate, then we're going to be looking really, really pretty. I like it. Okay, here's the deal.
ZEPP, zigging and zagging. I'm looking to get out of this position if it breaks prior bar low. That comes at around 879 or so. It's showing me 880s. I'm just waiting for a closing print. Let's see what this one does. We've taken out the majority of the position, but it looks like it is a bit top heavy. If I get out of this, I'll be looking to set up again at either the 10 exponential if it holds, which is around 58s or 60s. If that doesn't hold, then I'll be looking at around 820, 825. That's where VWAP and the 20 exponential are. I've got a lot more to look at though, so I don't really want to be managing this, quite frankly, if it's going to break down and lose 9. So I'm flattening out here, break even on the last little amount, and then I'll look to get back in if it is warranted. But let me bring in the trusty side charts over here. Let's talk about what I'm seeing move. So ABVE just absolutely lost the bid. It's halted to the downside right now at $3.20. Big move down there after making a new high there at 440. It lost VWAP, but here's kind of what I see. I'm not going to likely trade this below VWAP, but what I see are higher lows. And that kind of has been the case really since yesterday. So that trend line does seem to have some weight to it. So let's see if we actually bottomed out here at around 320 on ABVE. So that's number one. Number two, ZEPP, already I'm involved in that. INKT, another one I'll be looking at, a bit more expensive there and a lot more spready. Looks like the best trade is behind this one. We'll see what it does at 40 bucks where the volume weighted average price is. INKT, big mover on the day. SLNH, this one looks really good. Okay, so this one respected VWAP, putting in a bull flag. It does have a tendency to wick into a new high of day and then sell off. Case in point, you got this one right here. The 10-15 candle makes a new high into 140, sells off back down into 128. You got it again over here at 1040, makes that 143 high, sells off into about 126. So be looking for the reversal on the making of a new day high, but then it seems to be, at least for the moment, the best time to buy it, right after it makes a day high, after it retraces into a key level. So SLNH. There's also NEGG, okay? This is another one. It's more expensive. It's a bit more spready. It's not as bad as some of its counterparts, but it's got a higher low, higher high situation over here with looks like the seller stepping in aggressively at $40 despite the high being 40.65. So NEGG in focus. SFRM, another one that we've been talking about for a period of days. This one had a fantastic look earlier in the week, and it's continuing again. A lot of respect by SFRM for VWAP. So it's a beautiful retracement. Whoever took that at around, I want to say 10.55 or so, rockets up the volume weighted average price, which was around 8 2/3, and now it's knocking on the door of 9 2/3, 969 being the high of day. So SFRM, another one to keep in mind. And then over here, SQNS, another one we've been talking about. We talked about it plenty yesterday. This one had a fantastic move up, and it's making higher lows and higher highs today. Looks like a bit more of a choppy trade. Looks like a kind of convoluted bull flag, if I can say so. So that is there. And then Workhorse. Look at that big move up off the bull flag breakout, comes back in, retests that breakout level. I got out midpoint over here in the mid 60s, but it looks like it is defending the 10 exponential average, moving average for now. But when you look at the overall trend, at least on the 5-minute, lower high, lower high, lower high, and yet another lower high. So Workhorse also in play, but trade this carefully off the high. Joseph.
Good look there, man. Wow, look at Softy go, Sharif. Now 502 and change. Oops, let's pull it up here. And it's just driving strength within the TQs. You can see we took some more out as well, guys. I'm sitting on about just a little under half. We'll call it 40% or so of my main remaining position on this short. Let's see if we can get anything south of the volume weighted average price on the Qs, and then we'll take the majority of it off. But look at Microsoft go, man. What a monster of a session here on the day. Gap down, filling it now. So that's a positive sign. Let's zoom out and see the absolute madness this name has been on since Liberation Day lows, and most especially their earnings report too there, guys. So big time move. Boom, you gap up. And then you don't even look back. It says, no, see you later. We have other plans, Sharif.
Okay.
And I mentioned it. Multiple analysts have said that we're not pricing in that there's approximately about like 20 to 30% more revenue in Azure coming from the commercial space. So I've heard multiple analysts say this now. Yeah, Danny Ives was the first one, and then I was listening to another individual the other day, and he said the same thing. So maybe the market hasn't discovered something about Azure that's going to be coming with this next earnings report. So I'm very, very intrigued to see what's going on there, Sharif. And it can most definitely explain what's going on with this. So interesting stuff. You know we love the cloud space, especially with Google, obviously, AWS. Those are most definitely fan favorites. But with that being said, Sharif, it's time to liven up a little bit here now because we are taking those profits on the TQs. There we go. As we breach the volume weighted average price and heading more south, a good short signal right there. Could I have gotten better entries? Most absolutely, definitely. There's no questioning that. But we enter, add into the position, we pull back, inability to construct a new low, we add more, boom, you get that flush. There was another I'm reloaded opportunity right there, but we didn't take advantage of that one, but that's okay. We're not complaining whatsoever, Sharif.
Yes,
Before I send it back to you, let's see what we did on iBit. We took a little scalp on this one. Didn't work too well for us, so we entered here, really small size, giving it the low of the day as risk. Once it starts working out, we add to the position. We only took about 20% off, and then I got stopped out the remaining 80% or so. I'm like, all right, I'm not in love with it right now. And then sure enough, you see you can go and put in a new high of the day. But that's okay. I still have a lot of faith. I think we do continue. We have been on a pretty decent run the past couple of days, so I expect a breath here in Bitcoin. But I like what Michael Noss was telling us this morning.
What did he say?
160. Oh, let's go TQs as it starts to take. This is exactly what we want to see. We'll take a little bit off right here, folks. Okay, good thing I didn't take it all out. But there it is. TQ short, working out like a dream.
Work out for me. Work out for me.
No, I'm short TQs. Let's go. Come here, man.
I like the kicks, my boy. Look at this guy.
Yo, this guy's dripping too hard with the gear out.
Drip too hard.
The past couple Fridays, he's been coming out hard and heavy, man.
Looking good.
All right.
Looking good, my man.
Oh, yeah. He's ready. Ooh, okay.
Oh, boy.
I like that one there, Obi. Oh, we're going to take a little bit more off here, guys.
baby.
All right, there it is,
Watch out
Sharif.
for
This could
me.
be a bottoming signal as well, too, so we want to keep an eye out on this one. But a nice short here in the TQQ.
I like it, Joe. I like that energy, baby.
Well, I'm trying, man. I'm struggling a bit today.
That's okay. Well, yeah, we all have those days.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to keep an eye out here. I took a good trade here on ABBV, took 4/5 out of the position for profit, got stopped out for the last remaining amount for a little bit of an L, still positive on it. This was an obvious break of my rules here, guys, taking this below the volume weighted average price, but it was just a good area. We opened up a little bit higher, and as soon as I saw the bid pumping up there, I'm like, all right, this is an interesting long. So we'll take a quick one there on ABVE, but full disclosure, it was a breach of the rules. So let's go back to Workhorse over here, because Workhorse is putting in, you guessed it, work to the high side. So here we go, right back close to the highs on WKHS. It doesn't dip down far enough to fill me on that one, so that's going to be a useless dip trade, but this was a good one so far, but right back into the highs. So we'll see how this one is doing. I'm also keeping an eye on NEGG off that $40 area. Seems to be interesting. Again, SFRM is not going to be one that we can trade. It's blocked on the system for whatever reason, so we'll have to let that one go. But SLNH is open for us to trade. Where's my SLNH screen? It's going to be this one over here, SLNH. Let's go on the Nasdaq, I believe. There we go. This one is at the day high at $1.40. Sorry, the high of the day is $1.43. Oh, wow. There we go. $1.43. So, yeah, a little extended away from the entry level that I'd like. It's going to either be the 135 or the 130 range. And the reason I say that is because the top end of the bull flag is 135 and the volume weighted average price is 130. So I'll put in an order around 135. So that's what I'll do. I'll put a starter position at 135, and then I'll put another dip trade at 131 to front run that level. Look at Workhorse go, guys. Workhorse is breaking out insane. It's at $4.20. Workhorse is on the warpath to the high side. Wow. It just took out 4. It held the 10 exponential like an absolute glove, and it is zigging and zagging with that $4 area today. Workhorse is on one. It seems to have continuity. It is the chosen one today, or so it seems. Let's see if it continues to get that momentum to the upside. Absolutely interested in getting back in. If we can come back in, possibly in test 4 after clearing it by some distance. 419. Hi, Joseph.
Anakin, you were the chosen one. You were the chosen one. Maybe I'll watch that. You know what? Oh, Sharif, guess what, brother?
What?
Your boy has the spot all to himself this weekend. Milo and Selena are going to visit her brother up in Ottawa.
So what's going to happen there?
Bro, so I'm literally going to define cooling. Like I chilling out, cooling.
Yes,
I'm just cooling, right? Just
I was getting a completely different picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, hell no. There's no.
Tell him, Adara.
I was also really confused. I was like,
Right?
sure you thought some like wild Project X party was happening. And my second thing is, why is the dog coming on this road trip? Like, are you just gonna strap him up? Like,
He's going with Selena.
Oh, okay.
He's going with.
I was just confused. Like I'm like, that's really impressive. The dog's gonna do that road.
Because her brother has two Dachshunds as well, so he's gonna go meet his cousins, I guess there. But yeah, no, I fooled everyone on that one. Trust me, your boy ain't gonna be doing any partying. It's going to be the ultimate R&R weekend. This is what I'm talking about. We are going to be outside at the outdoor workout gym, and we're gonna be eating Gusto 101. For those who don't know who that is, I'm sure if you're a Torontonian, you do. That is some prime time Italian food. So your boy is just gonna be kicking it, just relaxing on the couch all by himself and eating a whole heap of food and obviously hitting the gym. So yeah, that's what your boy's got going on this weekend. Yeah, exactly, man. That's how we played it out there, Romero. But let's see if we can catch some more prints back into these markets. You know what's going on now. A nice move here. But Hood is strong, so way to go on that trade there, Gaurav. Starting to head towards that high of the day. We're holding up around that 100 level relatively well there, brother. So that is a really good trade on that one. And then you can see we're starting to get a little bit of a bid back into Google. Google heading back towards the high of the day. Nvidia bouncing off of VWAP. And then we have Amazon and Microsoft still holding up pretty good here. So the MEG, pretty strong today, Shree.
All right, Joe, here comes Workhorse into $4. So I'm going to be watching intently here to see kind of what kind of buyers we have. So I'm flipping to the 5-second chart on the top screen so we can kind of gauge where the momentum is going at any one time on a very micro level. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. It seems like Workhorse has some continuity on the day. And if that's going to be the case, then it really is incumbent upon me to trade it. Shout out to my boy in the chat, Iga Hauren. Always doing the absolute most in a good way. Shout out to that guy. And hey, man, I got updates for you. I've been killing these Mandarin updates lately too. Ooh. You know what I did, right? Because you know how that whole thing with the old platform kind of messed up.
Yeah.
With the updates and this, that, and whatever, Joe.
Yes, sir.
So I had taken actually a bunch of screenshots of the lessons that I had previously done. So I was able to kind of throw those back into ChatGPT, and it's been regurgitating lessons to me, man.
Oh,
so
nice.
Isn't that clever? So yeah, it's been working. All right, here we're back into Workhorse. Boom again, Joseph. Again, we got 87s. It's popping up through 4. That was the dip trade into the bull flag breakout. I'm not going to let any part of this trade go against me, so it's going to have to continue on to the high side. Let me just make sure that I'm doing good, like sound beak wetters. That's what I'm trying to say ineloquently. I do apologize. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. Into 9s we go. Do we have continuity? I'm waiting at 11s. Let's see if we can kind of blow through that seller at the 10 penny area. Up we go into 9s. A lot of buying over here on WKHS, but unable to break through that 10 penny area. So I'm going to continue to watch. Just definitely don't want this to lose 4 again, then have to flatten out at a lower level instead of extracting profits around this area. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now, Joseph. Workhorse.
You see the poll? Okay,
no, I
guys.
gotta concentrate.
Okay, yeah, concentrate. All right, guys, the poll is now up. Do you believe Joe's weekend's plans? Yes, good man, R&R only, obviously. Sure, I'm gonna believe in myself and vote that one. So make sure you guys get those votes. Wow, I've seen how they're coming in. That is not good, guys. Not good. All right, so here it is. We're still sitting in this trade right here. Let's go over what else we were trading. I took a stab on DAL this morning, guys. One didn't work out, the other one did, and I totally fumbled this bag right here, and my apologies on this. I just got out a little bit too early, but it did run into one of my targets up here around 55.50s. That was one of my my primary targets right there. But Adara, what do you got for us?
We have comments coming here from Lula here of Brazil saying that Trump is wrong and the U.S. does not have a trade deficit with Brazil. For the record, everything I've seen actually suggests that they do not, in fact, have a trade deficit with Brazil. That's what I've seen anyway, the U.S. and Brazil. But we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to do more research on this. Either way, though, Brazilian leader not liking Trump's 50% tariff on the country, saying they don't even have a deficit. I'm going to do more research on that as we send it back to you.
No, I got to cover this.
Yeah,
We're doing it freaking live on Workhorse, on SLNH. It's happening everywhere we go. Literally bottom wick on this at 35s. Scalped up, first out 52, second out 55. We're still holding the piece. SLNH is on the warpath to the high side. Workhorse is on the warpath to the high side. Got literally bottom wick on this retracement. Up into 410 we go. We'll extract it. We're taking profits at literally every level. And I'm going to leave this order here active on SLNH. Let's freaking go. We had a bad day yesterday because we're old and our hands aren't hanging no more, but we're not going to make that mistake today. Get the damn money, baby. Go ahead, Adara.
Money.
I did a little bit more research here into this trade deficit thing, and I want to say as well, the source for where I'm getting this information comes from the office of the U.S. Trade Representatives. So Definitely no argument of bias there. It is literally coming from the administration itself. So apparently, and this is just with regards to the U.S. and Brazil relationship. So in 2024, the U.S. here imported or exported to Brazil $49.7 billion worth of goods. Brazil here importing apparently $42.3 billion into the U.S. So U.S. here actually did have a trade surplus in Brazil. And furthermore, this surplus actually increased by 32% on a year-over-year basis from 2023 to 2024. So not only do they have a surplus, that surplus increased pretty steadily last year. Back to you.
Go ahead.
All right, then. All right, you got anything you want to cover there? All right, cool. Dylan Patel, yes, I will look at CoreWeave for you. You got to be careful about these calls, right? There's so many people who are thinking short. By all means, you got to come up with your own trade plan. If you think that you're prepared to take a long on this one here, then by all means, right? Look, you broke this neckline 142. Now you're trading around 129.50. For me, right now, personally, I wouldn't be looking for any form of a long on CoreWeave. Let's zoom out to an hourly to see if we got anything. And I'm not seeing any indecision prints or anything from a volume standpoint that says, hey, we're ready to turn around right now. So for me personally, I'm not looking for any longs on CoreWeave. If anything, just the continuation to the downside, and that's just me. But you have to come up with your own trade plan. And if you think that it's a long, then come up with something, write down the plan, and then just try to execute it. Whether it comes into fruition or not, that is totally up to the markets, all right? So just keep that in mind. Let's see if we can catch another leg down here, Sharif. A lot of pullbacks. I mean, Google went and tested the high of the day here, established a new one, just a pure liquidity grab, and then now heading south. But I do like this name. I think at some point, considering where we are now, we get this break of 180. I do have a small position remaining from my previous swing. So if we crack 181, then I might add a little shares here. I'm not going to go contracts. I'll go shares and look for that move into 185, and then I'll just take off the bulk of that once again, all right? So keep that in mind. Google, not too bad, especially if it cracks that resistance zone. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. There we go, yeah.
I'm okay, Neil. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go, there we go. We're talking tacos. Taco talk. Taco talk. I put my order in there, Sharif.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Bless
up. Yeah, we had hockey last night too. A little fatigued off of that one.
Give me my money, man.
Get out of here, man.
Give me my money, man.
Let's go.
Give me my damn money. Let's go. We're going to keep doing this, baby.
Just give
Let's
me
go.
my money.
All right, Workhorse, man, we just keep getting in and getting out. It keeps dipping, and it keeps popping off predictable areas of support. 380, I get out. We're going to risk literally 1 penny on the remaining amount. So this is going to have to go. Otherwise, we're straight up out. Continuing to watch SLNH over here as we literally have bottom wick and we have top wick, and now it is literally in between here south of the $0.50. So I'm keeping my eyes on both these positions. If this continues to go, we'll add into the position above 150, but clearly has a seller at 150 on the day right now, so we're gonna have to pack our patience for that one. Keeping my eye on Workhorse because we don't even have a beak wetter here north of 4. So there has been a seller for whatever reason at around $4 that we can't really shake on a permanent basis. Sure, we've been above 4. We got to 4.33 on the day on Workhorse, but we keep dropping below that $4 area, which tells me that somebody's looking at this area for a short. And if that's the case, that's fine. So we're going to literally risk 1 penny on my stop between my L. So I have my stop at 380, I'm long 381, and I'm gonna take profits at 407 if that comes into play. Here's 403, here's 405. Let's see if we can flatten out here. Boom again, man.
Boom.
Give me my damn money on Workhorse, man.
Give me my money.
Let's go. So we're gonna continue to take ins and outs on this piece of garbage until it drops below the volume weighted average price. Yeah, I am angry today, and I'm gonna be that way until I calm the hell down. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, good stuff here, guys. All right, let's talk about it. Levi, you made me do this here. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. All my Taylor Swift fans right there.
This guy, bro. This guy studying the P&L. I love it.
Yeah. Boom. That's a daily. That's a daily right there. We got some on real life. These are the contracts right here that we just grabbed the other day. Those are cooking up really nice for us. Levi, my guy Levi in the chat said this is where the money is made. Absolutely. This is what we like to do on this show. On this show, my guys. So yeah, we're cooking up. We're still short the TQs. Let's see if we can get a break at that low. What do you got going on, Shree?
Adara.
Adara. Sorry.
Alibaba news, guys. BABA did get a little bit of a spike here. Their Quen account here on X, or Alibaba Quen, is apparently they're introducing Quen.ai. This is going to be, I guess, a new tool. It's an AI web chat bot. So these tools include Quen Chat, which is going to be brainstorming type AI. There's also a research AI and an API to help you build your own AI-powered apps. So Quen.ai, the new AI bot from Alibaba's Quen. Check this out. Check out the chart for sure here. BA. Back to you.
Actually, be really interesting. Remember, they were apparently going to pair up with Apple for Apple Intelligence out in China. Remember, it was kind of between Baidu and Baba, and they chose Baba.
Yeah, I remember that one there.
The Chilean Nightmare says you're already doing it with ChatGPT and Gemini already, so we already got it. Yeah. You made all those little programs, like some of the actual program that we're using right now to count all your votes, which was a perfect segue. Make sure to vote every day, guys. It's super easy. I know I always forget to remind you guys, but $ and then the 3, 4, or 5-letter ticker is really that simple. Make sure you're voting. It automatically registers, so you don't really need to do anything other than throw in the $sign and the ticker. Yeah, so the Chilean Nightmare's been using all these. Which one do you use? Do you use the what's it called? The add-on to chat for the coding, or do you use chat itself? You use chat itself. Okay, well.
All right.
He crossbreeds Gemini with ChatGPT, uses both of them together. Yeah, well, that would make sense. You're not the first person I've heard say that, Fabian, by the way. A lot of people doing that. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. What's up, brother?
Okay. Oh, okay. It's good to know. Guys, I'm just keeping my eye here on SLNH because it's coming right back down into my entry. I have one out left on this one, so we're going to hold this one. And if it breaches $1.35, my out is at $1.34, so it is literally 1 penny below my entry. I won't let this one go against me, but I don't want to take it out here either because I'm at my entry is where support is. So it doesn't make sense to take it out here. Now, what I will do is add to the position if it shows me a 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis. So that's what I'm looking at here on SLNH. It's a good one on the day. It's certainly not the best one, up about 30%. What's the next level for Workhorse to get back in, says Paul. Well, Paul, here's what I see on Workhorse. Despite the fact that I've been, yelling about it, we have 4 candles now, lower highs. And if this one makes a lower low as well, it'll be 4 candles with lower highs and lower lows. Take this candle, the breakout candle, 11:15. That is the high of the day, 433. The subsequent candle has a high of 423. The candle after that has a high of 415. And this candle has a high of 411. So 3 lower highs in a row. And then we also have 3 lower lows in a row, with this one being possibly the 4th if it loses the volume weighted average price at around 3 high 60s. So I would say to you the volume weighted average price is the best entry for me at around 375. However, that has to be qualified by what I just said of the lower highs and lower lows. So we'll see how Workhorse ends up doing. If it wants to take out that third of $1, I'm all ears and we'll get back in. But ZEPP is headed back up. It's working its way back into 9. It lost the 10, and the money fills were between the 10 and the 20, and now it's kind of putting in 3 candles with a higher low and a higher high on the way to 9. Be on the lookout for that one, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there, guys. All right, Bitcoin's heading towards the low of the day here. I think at some point it's going to break and fill this gap because that's looking like what it's going to do. So I can't speak today, but there it is. You break through this support level, and then sure enough, this gap is going to get filled here on the day. So yeah, this is the ebbs and flows of it, right? So hopefully that is just not too deep of a pullback, and we can get some continuation because that breakout last night was really nice. I know we ended the day, it was around 13, 14 or whatever it may be, or 15, and then I look later on my phone, I'm like, yeah, it's 118. I'm like, let's go. So yeah, that was really nice to see, but we still got a ways to go for our target on IBIT contracts. So let's take a look at Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft did put in a new high of day. This one's looking really well, and so did Google. Google's just on an absolute monster tear, and we were just talking about this name. I know some people in the chat were mentioning it, so I just wanted to bring it up one more time. Oh, I didn't want to do that, and thankfully it worked. And this is what I'm referring to here, guys. If we break this 181, you can see that we've had multiple tests, and then we sit on top of this range. I think there's going to be a good opportunity to get involved in this once again, and then even take a little bit more shares up into to 190 even. I know someone in the chat was mentioning that, and I agree with you on that front. I was in here, and then now we're looking for that continuation. This pullback wasn't as deep as I was expecting it to, so that's a positive sign of strength. And then once you clear those resistance zones, I think you are going to make a move in towards this gap, and that could be as a high of around 193. And then you're talking about that. By the time we get there, you're leading into earnings, which I think is going to be extremely important as well too. And who knows what that report's going to bring, Sharif.
Well said, Joseph. All right, still keeping my eye here on SLNH because it keeps coming into 35, and there seems to be a buyer at 35. It's still not primed for an ad in my humble submission because it doesn't show you that the bid is starting to step in, where the buyers are starting to overwhelm sellers, or I don't even see an equilibrium quite yet, okay? So we'll see what this one does. We've got another, I'd say 1 minute, maybe a little bit less. Let me check the clock here on the side. We've got 2 seconds until the next green candle or the next 5-minute candle opens. Let's see how this one does. What I'm looking for here to get me back into SLNH is a candle to close green above $1.42. The prior candle high on SLNH, I believe, is $1.42. So I need the first 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis off this level. And if that means getting a worse price because I don't get in the high 30s, I'm okay with that. But I need confirmation that there are buyers there, so much so that, you know, this one couldn't breach a 1 penny level. I'm talking about the $1.35. Quickly, just before we send it back to Adara, ZEPP is on the warpath to the high side. It just took out highs, 949 high. It's showing me 50s on the ask right now. It's up 56%. This thing is flying. I didn't trade this one correctly because it lost the 10, but that doesn't really matter. It's heading to the high side. Be careful with this one. It is a little spready. Speaking of people who like spready tickers.
Sharif, I kind of got the feeling you were going there, and I really liked how it did. So get it, midday team. Here's NVS. This is Novartis. This one's going to be on watch here. Apparently, they just lost their bid to block the MSN's generic version of their Inestro. Apparently, a Delaware judge ruled that Novartis failed to prove infringement during the trial. NVS here chopping around. I also want to mention we still have more comments coming in from the leader of Brazil talking about tariffs, saying that Brazil will not lower its head to anyone. And if the U.S. tariffs do take effect, Brazil is going to reciprocate. So more reciprocal tariff talks coming through from Brazil. Let's see what ends up unfolding here. But either way, lots of tariff tensions right now, to be sure. For the record, Trump has not released any tariff letters since the Canada letter. And also, if you're interested in the too late Powell and Trump drama, I do have another infographic series coming very soon. Stay tuned. I will be debuting it later during this midday show. Back to you.
There. Anything you want to cover there, Sharif? We got some questions.
Yeah, the OG Bovin keeps telling me about UMAC, and he's very accurate. So let's cover UMAC here because OG Bovin, he's bang on with this one. UMAC, guys, is the ticker I'm talking about. It's also at highs. It's 37%. It's not too expensive. Shout out to Bovin. Fantastic call out, Bovin. I don't know why I'm not getting that on my scanner, Bovin. I should be getting that. That should be like entry number 3 or 4. Oh, there. It's all the way down there. Okay. I missed it. That's on me. So this one seems to have some support, guys, at the 20 exponential moving average. It didn't really hold up at the 10, nor did it hold up over here. It kind of wicked a little bit below it. This one's going to be a bit tougher to trade, Bovin. Tell me what you're seeing here, Bovin. What's your move on UMAC? Because I don't see... Okay, so now it seems to me it's less the 20 exponential on the 5 and more about this top-end wick over here at $11 that ended up holding this up. So if that's the case, then this wick over here at 1175 should be the next support level, but you haven't cleared it by far enough. You're 1194 high. So maybe 1150 would be the area because that would be the closing prints. So maybe an entry Bovin off 1150 on UMAC might be appropriate. Currently, 1150, obviously the psychological area of support. In addition to that, though, it is also the 10 exponential moving average right now on the 5-minute chart. So I like this one, Bovin. It's earned its way onto the side chart, quite frankly. ABVE has lost it, has lost VWAP, and it's lost its spot on the side. So we're going to throw in UMAC. Shout out to Bovin for this one. UMAC, we're going to keep an eye out on that one. And I'm going to be looking for an 1150 pull, at least from what I see now. So let me see what... Bovin's long from 11. So Bovin's already long. at 11, and that's an excellent entry, dude, because you literally got the bottom end of the range here, this area trough. So you're $1 in the money. We're gonna hit the dollar club for the OG Bovin there in the chat. Fantastic entry, and let me know how it goes. Got stopped out for the remaining amount over here on my friend, what's it called? SL. No, actually, I haven't been stopped out yet because 34s haven't crossed. So I'll let this one stop out naturally. I don't need to flatten out. What I do need to do is cancel this dip trade over here. So if SLNH wants to stop me out 1 penny, we'll let that one go. ZEPP continuing to the highs, 970 high there. Also, Workhorse right back into the highs. It did make this current candle did make a new high, but not on a closing basis. It's wicked into 420. It's still closing below the high of the previous candle. So Workhorse could be interesting at these levels. We'll continue to watch that. And then one that is blocked on our system.
Can I say? Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me interrupt you there. Yeah, dude, look at Google Go here, Sharif. Look at this volume really start to kick in.
News there?
Yeah, I don't know. Something maybe going on. Could be also a technical break. I'll break it. I'll zoom out one more time so we can get a better look from the outside. But here it is, guys, from the outside, from a daily perspective, more or less what I was getting at there. If we run into this zone and we break it come Monday morning and you're sitting on top, watch out. I mentioned that this name is still down about roughly 15% off of those all-time highs. So 13 to be exact now. It's lagging the overall market for, I guess, for good reasons, but Google is a monster, and I'm not going to be too quick to throw this one under the bus or underestimate what Google could potentially do, but it's helping drag the market right back towards the day's highs. And there you've seen, I got stopped out of my last little bit. I only had about 20% remaining. That's fine. We were short from here, but it's at this pace with the likes of Microsoft climbing higher and Google just on an absolute tear right now, Sharif. This market is looking really, really good for a continuation in strength. And then someone else in the chat said, Bitcoin's looking like it might break down. Yeah, I think at some point we're going to. It's just taking a long time. Once you crack this support level, I think you're going to get a nice short, maybe into the top end of this range, and then maybe you get a bounce around that. So I'm just going to be trying not to look at the P&L on the contracts too much, because when you got that on there, you're just, the ebbs and flows can be a little intimidating. So that's why for me, swing trading, it's just like, all right, you buy that, put it away, you have your orders out, and then you just monitor it from your screen instead of micromanaging the position there, Sharif. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Okay, Workhorse is breaking out. Here we go again, guys.
Again?
Yeah. It's all guys. Here we go. We're 25s right now. The high of the day is 33, so this could be the interesting entry. Let's see if we can break above that 33 level. It seems like it is the appropriate time right now, unless that 33 seller is going to keep us down into 18s. We go. Adira.
One thing on watch here for GeoOGL, and this was in the watch list. Someone mentioned it in the chat as well. I'm not sure if this is why it's pushing, but we did have the Financial Times report this morning that Google is going to be offering significant discounts to the U.S. government for its cloud computing services. We know Oracle previously announced the same thing. I'm not seeing anywhere that Google has announced this. I'm only seeing, as of right now, just reports here on Financial Times, but I'm gonna have to wait and see. I'm not seeing, usually if there's an announcement like this, they'll put it on their blog. I am not seeing anything as of yet, but either way, these discounts here could be what's pushing this higher. I don't have any other news on the stock, but I just wanted to provide that context. Back to you.
Workhorse is breaking out, guys. Go ahead. Here we go. We're long 23s. We've wet the beak again. Here we go into 40s. We've already made a new high day. 42s now the high day. Watch out for the pullback. Here we go. Boom. All right, good look there on Workhorse. So we'll continue to take this one as it breaks out. Look, I didn't get the best price on this one, but the read is good. Workhorse is the chosen one today. It seems like 51%. It's not the biggest percentage winner on the day, but it's got great continuity on the day. Go Workhorse, go. 448 high now. And what's the short float on this? It's got to be large, because I know this thing from back in the day, 15.06% on a float of 9.44 million. Let me just compare that super quick to what I've got on my other platform with respect to the float, not the short float, because for whatever reason, I don't get that on my platform. Are you able to find the short float on IB, by the way?
I don't know.
Right?
No,
I always look for underselling in the Fundamentals Explorer. Okay, so IB is telling me a float of either 340,000 or 9.4 million. And Trade Ideas is telling me 9.4. So I'm just going to go with the 9.4 there. Joseph seems to be a bit more sense. So there it is, Workhorse at the $0.50. It's going to clear the $0.50 here. There is a seller of note, though, with about a few hundred lots, but that's only what we can see. It's still defending that $0.50. The short sellers are, or the profit takers. Wow. So be on the lookout for that, guys, right now. Fantastic look on Workhorse on the day, Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. And Google's starting to cool off a little bit here, too, guys. This is going to be a potential massive signal. It's really engulfing. Look at the size of the volume. This is a lot of volume being printed right here. I don't know why it says 135K, because that is extremely wrong. There's probably over 1 million shares traded on this 5-minute print. Let's zoom in and see what we got going on from a 1 minute. Okay, there's nothing that says we're ready to move lower yet, but just be cautious, all right, guys? Because this is a big time move, and we don't want to be going against the grain just yet, right? There could be a good potential short on that one, but look at Microsoft as well too. Still steaming and heading towards a new all-time high, I believe, which is roughly around 506. So maybe not yet, but we're only a couple points off of that. We're really strong today, and just don't stand in front of a moving train, all right? So that is the game plan. Robinhood's working out really well. I mean, this thing is now holding $100, which is absolutely insane. I can't believe it. I wish that I had as much money in Robinhood as I did, I mean, in Bitcoin as I did in Robinhood, or in Robinhood as I did Bitcoin, I should say. But again, you can't have it all. But a really nice move off of those Liberation Day lows, guys. We're up probably over 220% in this name at this point. Well, not me personally. I'm just saying from those lows. Yeah, 242%.
Amped up.
Yeah. And well, I'm over 100% now return on that thing. And yeah, exactly. Just boom, brush your shoulder off. And that's what we got going on, right? We're just trying to do the things. You know, I'm long Google as well too in the swing account. So I got IBIT, Nvidia, and Google in the swing. I closed Apple the other day. I'm like, you know what? I don't need another headache, and I don't want to spread myself too thin either. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all right, we're gonna just let these positions cook up for us. And I think at that break, there's going to be a good opportunity to even add some more Google, to be honest with you. So this is a good positive sign of strength. And we're just going to look for the continuation and momentum, because that's what we do. And then what do we also do around these neck of the woods? We look at the options chain to see what the options market is telling us. So this is Google right here. And I'm not seeing anything substantial from an open interest standpoint. At that 180, we did reject 181 almost to a T. And this is on the 0 DTE. So 182.5 has 23,000. I guess relative to all of this, it's substantially larger than what we got going on. So who knows? Maybe 182.50 could be in the works today on goggles.
All right. Good look, Joey. I've got nothing on at the moment. I'm continuing to watch UMAC over here. Shout out to the OG Bovin. Look, this current 5-minute candle has a higher low. So we got one measly red candle. The one that closed, I want to say exactly at the 1140 candle. Currently, we're on the 1145 candle. I'm obviously talking about the 5-minute chart. So the 1145 candle has a higher low than the 1140 candle, but it also has a lower high. So what I'm waiting for is a move into 1160 or 1150, 1160 being the 10 EMA, and 1150, the area I perceive to be the area support where both these candles rejected off on a closing and opening basis, right? They both wicked above, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Now, what looks like what the market might be doing is basing support off this wick. The area wick over here is in the low 70s, 11 low 70s. That's the case, then I missed the trade, because I'm not going to punch in at 11 low 70s. It's just too close to 1194. So I'm waiting for an 1160 pullback or an 1150 pullback. We'll have to see which one comes first. Let's go back and have a look at Workhorse, see how Workhorse is doing. All right. So this current candle is below 50 pennies, so we are rejecting 50 pennies for now. But we're also putting in a lower high on this current 5-minute candle. The current 5-minute candle has a low of 415. The 1140 candle has a low of 406. So it's a higher low, but not necessarily a higher high. That means the buyers are stepping in still at higher levels. So we could get a 450 break over here. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not involved in Workhorse at the moment. But if we get that clearing of 450, that could all change. I'm really trying to focus on UMAC and the possible entry on that one, because that's also got a good bid under it today, being up about 35%. Bit more expensive, right? $11. So it's not expensive. It's not Tesla or anything like that. But what I mean to say is, you know, if you're looking to size in substantially a few thousand shares, 10, 12,000 shares, which is, you know, what these small caps require in order to make money off a penny's move here, it's a bit more expensive, obviously, so you won't be able to punch in as many if you're trading at home. Not really a big deal for us here on the prop floor. It's not our money, it's the firm's money, and that's kind of just how that all works. SLNH, the only one I'm involved in right now. I still haven't been stopped out, so I put my out at 34s. It still hasn't stopped me out. We're in at 35. The reason I haven't taken it out here is because we're holding above VWAP. So if we continue to hold above VWAP and I have a one penny risk on this bad boy, I'd rather just wait to see what it does. Does it make higher highs and higher lows, kind of give me maybe that curling effect, that rounded bottom off VWAP, or it loses it? It loses it, I basically stop looking at it and focus on something else. But what right now it's showing me is 3 higher lows in a row at the volume weighted average price. So I like it. I'm going to continue to hold it. People are talking about RCAT. So let's bring in RCAT over here and let's see what this one is doing. Okay, well, it's not bad on the day. RCAT up 22.25%, but you know exactly what I'm going to say about this. What is this over here? 930 candle, 906. We're making lower highs, even off this area, so area crest. Let's just forget about this wick. Let's just go with this one over here, 867. High, lower high, lower high. It looks like a downward channel because you're also getting lower lows. So unless we can change that tune and make a move above the 8.5 on a decisive closing basis, I don't get involved in RCAT, okay? I don't want to be dealing with a downward channel. It has to change trend and show me an 8.5 close on, again, a closing basis. Otherwise, I just don't get involved, Joseph.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm looking at, my man.
Yeah, good call outs there, guys, across the board. You can see that we're getting kind of toppy here on Microsoft and Google. Now you can see that aggressive selling on the Qs. I'm going to wait for a retest. Hopefully we establish a lower high, but you can also see on the 5-minute time frame, guys, this is big. A double top here, right? So you head right into those levels, have the inability to construct a new one, and now you've double topped right at 84.24 there, and that's going to put us exactly at, let's see it on the Qs. Yeah, so that's going to be around 555.42s there, guys, on the Nasdaq itself. So keep an eye on that. Robinhood coming back in. Microsoft still holding up strong. I mentioned to Gorev that I'm just going to be patient on this one and wait for another potential liquidity grab before we hopped in. But I mean, this was a good enough short, right? Like, we get this move, you add into this position, and then sure enough, you only get stopped out about 20% or so. So I'm not overly in a rush to get into another trade right now. I'll be patient to see if we get in anything around 84.20s, wait for that curl over, and then maybe take that move back into the volume weighted average price. But if Microsoft wants to stay strong, we got to watch out for that. Guys, also keep an eye out on I mentioned this before. Once you crack that support level, you can see we've dropped another 10 cents or so. And I think at some point, once we crack this this opening print on the session, 4 a.m., bright and early, once that's broken to the downside, I think that we're going to fill at least half of this gap here on the day, or maybe eventually at some point, maybe not today, maybe Monday, but one day, as my guy Brandon Marino would say, you say, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day I will be champion.
Oh, I like that. I like that. There's good confidence there. All right, guys, just having a look over here.
Any truths or what?
You know exactly what I'm looking for,
Yeah, I know what's going on.
No, I had to message the Mom Dukes again today, man.
What'd you tell her?
Well, why would I message her, though?
With the BTC, eh?
Gotta let her know, Joey.
What did she say?
It's another 119,000. Another one-word answer, bro. Okay. Smiley face. Yeah.
You don't want to hear it.
It's like messaging a girl like who's not interested in you at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one-word answers.
So you just got to give up eventually, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is there. Yeah. All right, so we're I added guys to SLNH over here as it is curling up a little bit. I like the way that this is looking with 4 higher lows in a row. So that's what I'm looking at there. Shout out to OG Bovin bringing UMAC to my attention. I'm watching it, Bovin. Into 68s we go. I'm going to wait for a bit more of a retracement here on UMAC. It's still a little bit above the 10, Bovin. The 10 exponential on my chart anyway is like in the high 50s. And here we go. Here we go. We're dipping into 61. Is this time to buy? Good question, man. It's a good question. I'm going to keep my eye on UMAC Bovin. It is an Amex stock, so these ones, I don't want to speak badly about Amex, but you know, they've been known to have a bamboozler or two, and this one is losing the bid. Here comes the $0.50. There's a buyer here at the $0.50. We've stalled momentarily. We've lost the $0.50 over here. Do we find a bit of a bounce now? So here, let's just continue to watch this. Let's see what this one is up to. Reclaiming the $0.50. Now, does it zoom up super quick? What's the low of this candle? What's the low of this candle? It is 45. The low of the candle is 45. Bless you. We're just, okay, so we've got another minute left on this one. I'm going long, and then we're putting 11, so basically 11.43 will be my out. And then we'll give it to 35s. And we're already moving up Joseph Wilson into about 63s. Let's wet the beak there. Let's set up also at 73s over here. So we'll look to take it off that level. And then I'll wait at 88s ultimately. So we'll see what this one gives us. Up into 64. We go anything below 45, which is the low the low of this candle. We're gonzino. Let's go look at the other one that we're involved in right now. SLNH kind of curling up. I'm waiting at 42s. It's showing me 41s. So this one, keep an eye on it. It feels like it is using the volume weighted average price as support, but we'll continue to watch and see what this one has to offer. Showing me 42s now on the ask. It's got to cross for me to get filled. Guys, I'm also seeing INKT really break out. OB bringing this to my attention today because apparently it has a headline for men's testicular cancer, which is an awesome headline to hear. But this is, sorry, that's UMAC, excuse me. Here it is, INKT. It's a bit more expensive. It seems to have a lot of support at the 20. A lot of higher lows. I missed that. I completely missed that. A lot of higher lows on these candles. And it just took 55. Ultimately, though, the sellers stepped in at 58.50, and we couldn't print anything above that. But this one looks like it might take out that level. So INKT, be on the lookout for that one. That could be a big boy banger if it gets moving. A bit more expensive, though, Joey. Obviously, 53 bucks and change. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Yeah, let's see if we can get this pullback. If Microsoft just slowly grinds higher, I think we will get that eventually. But a lot of these big names are starting to come back in, and there's that breakdown on Bitcoin that we were talking about earlier. I think the momentum is going to start to pick up. So as soon as you break through that support level, there it is. See you later, right? So now we're going to head into this gap. There it is. And this is what I mentioned. I'm not short this name, nor am I going to short it, but I think this was a good opportunity. Sharif brought it up to us this morning. Over $600 million in liquidations in Bitcoin alone over the past 24 hours or whatever it may have been. But a big time move. Now you're going to fill this gap, which I think at some point will get completely filled, and then look for a potential bounce off of those levels. But a slow grind in the morning. We couldn't establish any new highs, and then boom, 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 boom. It would have been just too good to be true if Bitcoin put in another 3, 4, or 5K day. I didn't think that was going to be the case. That would just make it slightly too easy, and there's no way the market makers are going to allow that to happen. All right, so just keep that in mind. If Microsoft breaks down, CoreWeave looking weak, 129 there, Sharif, and so is the Nasdaq. So someone mentioned that Netflix is tanking. I want to pull this up and look at it. Are you short Netflix, Adara?
Bro, she's constantly short. And constantly short.
That's simple. All right.
Adara, tell everybody what you call it.
What did I call?
What do you call Netflix?
Oh, yeah, Netflix.
No, you don't call it that.
What are we? I'm sorry. I feel like
what do you call Netflix, Adara?
Oh, I call it Flakes. Yeah, but that's also.
I thought you called it Flex.
No, it was Flakes. Like Netflix. Obi calls it Netflix, and then I kind of
Obi
shorten that
calls
to
it
Flakes.
that too.
I can't even think. I mean, Netflix is maybe better.
Way better.
Because right now that stock is Netflixing on the haters.
Oh.
Because all-time highs and stuff.
I swear I thought you called it Netflix. Yeah, okay, Flakes. Okay, all right.
Netflix is crazy. I mean,
I like the Flex.
I like the, obviously we like the Flex one more there. Sharif, I think it's Netflix too. To be honest with you, up 50% off of those Liberation Day lows. Market's still coming back in. Double top coming into complete play on the Qs here, Sharif. I want to get something around 84.10s, but that might be a little bit of a prayer there, my friend.
A hope and a prayer, baby.
All right. Neil Roberts, taco order is in, too. Watch out for that.
Joey, I got to cover this.
Go ahead.
All right, guys. INKT has just taken out highs. So we were just calling out this one moments ago. There it is. It's a $60 high now. INKT is on the way up. 60.59 high. It's taking out levels. It's moving dollars at a time. be careful with this one, but it's got a hell of a pattern under its belt over here, with the buyers really showing their hand with the higher lows on every successive 5-minute candle. We take out the prior, the prior intraday high. I swear I can speak. So we'll keep tabs on that right now. So let's go back to UMAC, because I'm still holding a position on this one. Up into 67 we go. We've got 54s on at the moment. I want to see if we can test 12. I've taken a couple of beak wetters so far. I don't want to take out too much too quickly. So let's be on the lookout here for UMAC to make a 5-minute candle to make a new high. To do that, we got to get above the prior bar high, which is 1175. Here's 1172. Can we continue going? We already have a higher low, because the prior bar low is 1144. This current bar low is 1150. So we made the higher low. Can we make the higher high? We're gonna have to wait. The seller at 72 right now may have other ideas. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Keep an eye out on UMAC. Okay, back to SLNH, because we added to this one at 38. We take a print at 42s, and then it comes back down to test my entry. My move doesn't change here. I put my order out at 33s. If it loses 33s, that's the end of the matter. I won't be DCing or doing anything like that. So I'm continuing to watch UMAC, continuing to watch SLNH. All right, UMAC at prior bar high now. Can it take out prior bar high? Not yet. Again, as I've mentioned, 1176 is the prior bar high. This current bar high, 1175. So we can't shake the seller there. I'm going to continue to pack my patience. I like what I see from this one. I'd like to get a print in the 90s, a print in the 80s, something like that. Back into 75 we go. We're going to continue to watch this one as we send you to Adara with happening now. And Neil's lesson of the day. We took out prior bar high, Joseph Wilson. UMAC heading up. Let's go.
Get it, Sharif. And also, I mean, get it, Nasdaq, maybe. I think it is worth noting here. Here's the 3. I'll switch to the 15-minute chart, because I like to use these when we're looking at the market during these segments. We do have some higher lows, and I have a flat top, actually, at this 550, 550, going back to pre-market. So if we can crack that 550, 550 and maintain these higher lows, maybe the market gets a little bit of a push to the upside. Let's see the S&P 500 and see how this one is doing. Here's the SPY looking almost identical to the Nasdaq, though notably missing that flat top break setup. And we'll take a look at our friend IBIT in this crypto space. This one actually pushing into pre-market lows right now for IBIT. And also weak here is MSTR. All these crypto tickers are really working lower here. Bitcoin reached a really notable all-time high here, around 119,000, but it cannot hold it, at least not for now. Here's NFLX. I do want to mention this because this is the second day in a row Netflix decided either a downgrade or not an upgrade or a price target increase. So second day in a row where we've had a positive analyst note for Netflix and it's sold off. The same was really strong compared to the market, so could just be a bit of a cooling off. But either way, NFLX, new pattern of it getting an upgrade or a price target increase and falling on the day. Lots to talk about here, taco trades and actual tacos. But before we get back to the midday, we have Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, and we also have to thank our friends at, thank you there, at Top One Futures. Are you looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, SPY, or even Bitcoin? Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital, pick your path, instant funded, challenge, or pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts, even a live account. In the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million, and earned over 1,000 5-star reviews from real traders. Use the discount code TTV to save on any account. Scan the QR code or head to top1futures.com. Start trading towards your next payout. Lesson of the day, take it away.
Thank you very much, Adair. Before we get to the lesson of the day, I just want to let you guys know that I voted on this poll. Do you believe Joe's weekend plans? I voted, yeah, sure. A young man who has a free weekend and is going to just sit and chill? I don't know about that, Joe. I don't know about that. But you know what? Sometimes, I'm just saying. But, no, sometimes you do have to just sit and chill. And oftentimes you can have whatever plan of action you want for trading. You can do your prep in the morning. You can have the ideas that you want out there, and you can sit around and like this doesn't set up and that doesn't set up. And the example I'm going to use here is everybody was looking for. Look, everybody's the wrong word. A lot of people were looking for the continuation or some big moves in some crypto names, and maybe to the bullish side. But let me just start with what I bid. The entire opening range, did Bitcoin do anything? The gap up, that's great. If you hold Bitcoin, great. But what did this do for us at the open? There was some small moves. You want a little more than that at the open, and there was no continuation. And as a matter of fact, we break down. I figured if we weren't going up, we'd have like some more massive moves off of the open. Part of the plan of action was to play off of 400 and 380 in Coinbase for that rubber band trade. When that wasn't there, and it was obvious early on Bitcoin was doing nothing and that it wasn't there. Okay, I can sit there and I can stare down Coinbase because I wanted to trade it and try to come up with some trade, or I can look at what's going on around me and note that Nvidia is going ham and just say, okay, well, Nvidia wasn't part of my plan today, but while Coinbase is doing nothing, Nvidia most certainly is. And the best thing about it is it wasn't even that complex what was going on with Nvidia. You just had another all-time high, a consolidative top off 165. There's your 2-day inside after the breakout. It broke out again, so you missed the breakout. You take the first available dip buy, which wasn't even much of a dip on a 15-minute, and play the momentum into the top. You just try to keep it relatively simple. But the most important part was you can't get too overly aggressive just because you want something to happen. Just because I wanted Bitcoin to make some fresh highs, just because I wanted Coinbase to get to some big levels that we could trade off of, the market doesn't care what you want. And if that stock isn't in play the way that you're hoping for, you do need to pivot to something else. And the most simple way to do that is not necessarily to hope that you can pick something out that's the best. Go back to what was working most recently. In this particular case, it was, well, we've been looking at the chips every day, and Nvidia and AMD and Nvidia is going ham. Just go back to the most basic concept that you can, which is something that we were trading to the long side when it made a similar break. And that should be familiar territory. Just try to keep it simple. At a minimum, don't force the action just because I wanted to trade Coinbase. You can't. You just have to be where, A, the opportunities are, B, where the opportunities are setting up the way that you intended to trade or with your trading plan, and then just go out there and execute. And then to the last point, because you know I'm going to do this every single time, as I want to put up CoreWeave here. The other thing I always like to be, that's not self-deprecating, but when you do have something that's part of your plan, you want to make sure that you are giving it, you don't want to let the stock off the hook. That's the best way to think about it. There's no better way to say, do not let the stock off the hook. I got a little too wrapped up with the notion of the volume-weighted average price for continuation on CoreWeave. And a lot of times, something that you really like can cloud your judgment to what's actually happening. So obviously here, failed break of the high, we're entering when it fails the break of the high. Simple entry there, that makes sense. I missed the VWAP trade because I missed the punch down here. It's SSR. I explained that in the morning show. But look what happens when it screams through VWAP. Double top at 133. Volume weighted average price at 131.8. That's the level. Sometimes you can get so laser focused into this and say, I don't want to take that trade anymore. And then you completely miss that it's just double topping off the same level as before because I'm looking at that VWAP trend line hoping that it holds. And part of that can just be because the day before VWAP held so well, right? So it's a bit of recency bias in my part. And again, this is why you go over things like this. Because it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter if I traded 3 things and won on all of them. I don't care. I care how I traded them. I care that Tesla and Nvidia shouldn't have been better than CoreWeave. CoreWeave should have been better than both of them as a short trade. So that's the way I'll grade myself. I'll grade myself like a D on this because it was my 3rd best stock and it was the best setup of the 3. So you got to know the setups that you like. And if it's not there, don't force it. If it is there, make sure you give it an opportunity and don't let that stock off the hook. But don't force the issue if the stock is doing nothing you're expecting. And on top of that, if you happen to have a weekend where it's free and you're young, get out there and enjoy yourself. It's summer, it's fantastic weather. Don't just sit there on the couch and watch Netflix or whatever, you know, get out there and enjoy it, get a patio or whatever it might be. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just sort of saying in general out there, because you're only young once, everybody. There's your lesson of the day. We'll see you back at 2 o'clock, everybody. No, Joe, man, we're just having fun. I'm just having fun. Back to the desk, guys. I'm just saying. Get out there,
It's
man.
all good.
You brought this on yourself, bro.
I did,
Nobody
man.
forced your hand
You know
to let
what?
everybody
No,
know that
look
the
at
boys
this.
are gonna play.
What is this, though?
When when
What
the
BS?
loved ones are away, so to speak. Like, you did this to yourself, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my days.
is that,
There's this guy's ready to go.
Do you remember Mr. Brain from what's it called?
the Pinky
Ninja
in the Brain?
Turtles?
Oh, I thought you were saying Pinky in the Brain.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that too.
Obi's
But,
ready. Obi's locked and loaded. I feel like that guy wants
Obi
to turn up.
scared
this
the hell
weekend.
out of me, bro.
Screen. Sorry, yo, I didn't mean to AEO you. That's crazy. I apologize for that. But there it is, guys. We're short the TQs again. We took a little bit off there. We don't have too much remaining. Actually, that's a lie. 66%. If it comes back to my break even, that's fine. 84.02s, and then we'll just hop up. But the primary target is going to be the volume weighted average price. Bitcoin really weak. Google coming back in towards VWAP. NVDA just slightly south of the volume-weighted average price. What's holding this market up right now, I believe, is Microsoft. But let's take a look at Meta, because I haven't looked at that name here today, Sharif. Oh, wow. Okay, well, the market wants to head lower, some of these names, Sharif. Meta looks like it wants to break up. That's crazy. And if this decides that it wants to climb higher, watch out. We're not going to get the VWAP in the TQs here, guys. So keep an eye out on that. So come on, Meta. Actually, no, don't come on, Meta. Wow, I love being in these push and pull scenarios, Sharif, because I have it from my Jimmy Carter days and then our plays there. And then I also wanted to break down because I want TQs into VWAP there, brother.
Okay.
What's going on?
I can support that.
All right,
Is
yeah.
that a short?
A short?
Yeah, would TWAP into VWAP? That would be a short. TWAP into VWAP?
Fetty WAP into VWAP.
TWAP into VWAP.
Yeah, that's the game plan.
All right, guys. UMAC trade. Look, it was good, but this is a filled break. Okay. What I'm still keeping my eye on, though, Bovin, is that it's still defending the 1160, 1150 area, despite this. You can't really see it on the white chart, so let me bring it in from the black charts over here. See this move on UMAC? So we were in at 1150, 1160. And then it shot up all the way to 1211. We got 12s. We didn't get 1211, but we got 12s. But there you go. Dropped all the way back down. What I found notable about this is that the wicks are still putting in generally, with the exception of this candle here, higher lows. And this current candle actually has a higher low. So I don't think that the failed break is the end all and be all right now on UMAC, but we'll have to wait and see what it does there. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. But INKT is all freaking gas, no break. Oh, that's an ominous high of the day, Joe. 66.66 high a day right now. I'm not punching into INKT. Shout out to Anuview. Great trade by you, my friend. You were letting me know that you were in there. Hope you printed up multiple storms and are having a fantastic day. Shout out to Anuview. $20
Yeah, we got a couple
super
of them,
chat.
Sharif, that we missed out there.
All right, we'll get to them. Let's get to them right now. So this is probably for you, Joey, because I see some calls here.
Yeah.
Got 715 call when Meta dropped to 710 LFG. Let's go. Let's get Joe some chamomile, lavender, peppermint tea for his relaxing weekend, and a protein shake for Sharif for Sunday's final. Oh, much
Like
love
your
and God bless y'all. Thanks for the vibes and the knowledge. God bless you, my friend. Hope you have a fantastic weekend.
You know what's funny? When I say Ayo, I always say to my friends now,
Ayo Lewis.
Yeah, I'm always
So
like, Ayo
true.
Lewis. Yeah, so.
Do they wonder what the hell you're
Yeah,
talking
they're like,
about?
yo, what, bro? And I'm like, yeah, Ayo Lewis. So yeah, thank you very much.
sir.
You know what?
What happened?
Chamomile tea, lavender, and peppermint. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest peppermint fan. I will like a tea, but it has to be like a mango or a peach tea. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people can get behind that one. But let's go. Come on, market. Break down. Get down.
Get down.
But yeah, Microsoft has other plans on the day, Sharif. It's just living in its own world right now. It's nothing up from a percentage metric. It's nothing crazy. We're only up about 0.6 or something along those lines. But this thing does not want to stop whatsoever, which I'm like, okay, at what point are we going to slowly curl over? But maybe it wants to make that move for the all-time all-time highs here today. So just be cautious of this one. Don't stand in front of a moving train, as I like to tend to say, whether it be a falling knife or something that's just absolutely going to the top side. But watch out for a recovery in Meta and in Google, because if they climb back towards the high of the day, I will get stopped out of my TQs trade. But with that being said, let's take a look at the options chain to see what. Hold on. What do you say?
Well, we're gonna have to read this first. You know exactly.
Let me go over Microsoft first, and then you can read that. Today's expiration cycle, nothing crazy. So, I mean, there is a path of least resistance. The highest level of open interest I'm seeing is at 510, and that's small potatoes, only 7.6%. I'm sorry, 7,600 contracts at 510. So I would not be surprised if we head into that realm there, Sharif. What did
I gotta read this out?
All right.
Joe Homer, what bath bombs you got for this weekend? Weekend without the lady, or for the boys, put that upper decky in and a blue Kalahala.
You know what he means by upper decky?
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
This is what he's talking about, an upper decky. How'd you know, my guy?
I just asked you about that today.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've actually seen you with that.
So this is what he's talking about, a little upper decky there. We're just chilling out. That's what the boys do. My one hockey buddy, before his game, he'll have 3 of them in his mouth.
I'm telling you, Calcanis like smashes
I'm like,
3.
dude,
Isn't that the move though? Everybody's saying that's a move.
That
you get like apparently you get like a crazy high off. You're
like that after. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, bro, how are you gonna play? Yeah. Don't get it started.
Interesting.
So,
I ain't about that life.
Trust me, you don't want to be a part of that life. But anyways, back into what we got going on, man. I think let's take a look at the VIX actually, because I'm curious if the volatility is really starting to pick up here, because the ebbs and flows of the overall market, I hate it when it does that. VIX, I don't want the chain, even though I love the options
leave him
chain.
Alone, man.
Who?
The chain.
Yeah, the chain. Yeah, that's my guy, Chain Gang. But here it is. The VIX all the way down. I'm surprised that it is. I thought that we'd climb higher, but the market is slowly grinding. I
don't know why. I'm hysterical today. I'm like delusional.
Yeah.
But it's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm still in this SLNH trade. It's super uneventful, but I'm actually looking at possibly weaseling back into UMAC. I don't know how you feel here above it, man. We keep making lower lows. We're still at 1150. We just touched the 20. I'm going to need a 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis before I get involved on UMAC. Now, that may leave without me because we know how this one trades. Currently, the prior bar high is 1170. The current bar high is 1161. So we're going to have to close above 1170 for me to get involved on a closing basis. Closing basis, always, guys. So that's a look there. Let's go back to Workhorse, though, because I don't know if this one's done. In fact, I don't even think it's done at all. And here we go. We are about a few pennies away from the high of the day. Here comes that 4.5 again. It's been a higher low, higher high kind of situation. It's been all off the 10 EMA on the 5, but that seller at the $0.50 has been quite stubborn. We haven't been able to shake him. So it feels, I don't know, you never really know with these ones. It feels like it's a matter of time. And there it is, Joseph, into the high of the day. 54 showing up. I saw 55s momentarily there on the level 2, but it did not cross. Be on the lookout here for a possible breakout right now on Workhorse as it moves up right into the high of the day, up 56% and change. Very, very respectful of the 10 EMA on the 5, and I'll show you exactly what I've been yelling about here. Look at all these holdups here at the 10 EMA. I mean, you got wicked maybe once or twice, and there goes a new high of day, 460. I saw somebody in the chat say that this one was done, and I wanted to respond to them and say, well, you know, I wouldn't be so quick to say that. But there it is, guys. I mean, just let the technicals talk. Let's not make guesses as to what this one's going to do, because it was still above key technical levels. And continue to put in higher highs and higher lows. So it's away from my entry now. We'll see if it wants to come back into the 10, and we'll assess it at that time. So this SLNH trade back into 45 as we go. And yes, that's all I've got for now, guys. It looks like UMAC is breaking down again, though, into the 20. So I likely will not be getting into that. Down we go again. So this one can't make a new 5-minute candle to make a new high. Drive and Discover, WLGS. Let me have a look at WLGS, see what this one's all about. 1 second, WLGS. Okay, so this is below VWAP, brother. and it's below the pre-market high. So see these highs over here that took place before 9 a.m.? My rules are two very simple ones. Got to be above the pre-market high if it traded in the pre-market, and it's got to be above VWAP currently. This fails both of them, so I wouldn't touch it. Let's look on the daily super quick and see, well, this is the kind of stuff that usually we see when it's south of $1. So I'm going to say no to WLGS, but I hope you do well on it, whatever you're doing.
All right, guys. Savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P with Beta Pro 3X daily leverage ETFs featuring the built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the markets. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Yeah, who am I gonna bring this out here? Martel Hardy, do I ever? I mean, yeah, come on, man. Like, look, this is a trade earlier in the day. I'm just not as active. I'm not hopping in the names. I look for precision, and that's just my style, right? Do I ever trade? The answer is absolutely yes. I think I trade quite often, if you ask me, but there's our one trade. We've been in 3 names today, 2 green, 1 red. My red one is going to be DAL. You can see I was looking for this grind higher up into 56, but we just got out too prematurely on this one. This grind was a little bit more difficult for me to sit in, so I just took somewhat of a break-even stop on that one, and then I took a small loss there. With that being said, I also traded iBit as well. Don't forget, the majority of my trades are put on in the morning when Neil and Sean are on. So when in the afternoon, if I have a nice comfortable day, then I'm more precise on my entries. All right. So there it is. iBit. We took a long on this earlier as well too. If you want to ask one more time if I trade, there it is. Boom, boom, boom. iBit. We add into this position, and then we eventually get stopped out, break even. It's the exact same thing, same narrative. Short on the TQs. You enter, add. Pulls back, doesn't break through this high where you have the bulk of your position, you add some more, and then you trade a little bit right here, and then you move lower. Look for another entry, which is exactly what we did. You add into the position, you take some off, and then eventually you get stopped out there. So that's the name of that game. I think eventually we will get to the volume-weighted average price. As you can see, we're slowly starting to construct these lower highs. So there could be a good opportunity. One more test around here. Maybe we'll look for an additional short. I don't know how much higher this market can climb, but just be cautious on this. This is also a good positive topping signal on MSFT as well. So you can see that a nice engulfing candle up here, indecision print, and then now you have that doji right at an extreme high, and then look at the extension from the volume weighted average price. So what are you going to do? You're going to probably put your stop slightly above that previous high, aim for some range lows. That would be a primary target. This is going to be another target as you head into some of this resistance right here, and then your final is probably going to be the low right around the volume weighted average price if you can get around those neck of the woods. So that's a game plan. Wait for this. You might get one more liquidity grab just due to the strength, and then I would look for a small rollover. But again, you don't want to be trying to short this continuously just in case it is going to be an all-day trender. You want to give it 1 or 2 attempts, and then after that, if it's not working, if your thesis doesn't work out relatively quick, then you just want to hop out and just pay no mind to it. Find something that's relatively weaker.
All right, let's talk about FTFT because you guys keep messaging about that one. Look, it's a nice one right now. I mean, it's up 122%, but it breaches one of my rules, and I just won't trade it. Okay, so this one was doing volume. In fact, it had the most amount of volume. You guess what time, Joseph? Don't look at the chart. Guess what time it did the most amount of volume?
Today?
Yeah.
10:30.
No. 4:20 a.m.
Oh, 4:20
There was a 5-minute
okay.
candle that did 3.6 million shares of volume. Look at that volume bar at 4:20 a.m.
4:20, yeah.
So you can't say it was lightly traded and the bag holders are only in for a few 100,000 shares.
Yeah,
no, there's plenty of bag holders
Lots
from up
of
here. So the rules I have for these small cap gappers, again, I'm going to keep repeating them, and if you've heard it before, I do apologize for sounding repetitive, but there's only 2 rules. Above the pre-market high, if it traded in the pre-market high, well, this one certainly did, and it's above VWAP. This one meets one of the 2, but fails the other one. So it's above the volume weighted average price, which is showing me 303s, but it's well below that 479, 480 pre-market high. In fact, it is a 480 pre-market high. So I will not trade this until it gets above that 480 level on a closing basis. But it's a good look for whoever was picking this up off that 232 1/4 level because it's been stair-stepping up. The reason it's up so much is because, well, it closed out at $1.50 yesterday. It's up. The current technical high of the day after the bell is 337. But as I mentioned, it did plenty of volume and traded plenty at 4 a.m. And so I just won't trade it until it clears that level. But thank you for pointing it out. FTFT, fantastic look. UMAC is back, baby. It held up beautifully at 1140. It was essentially the 20 exponential and rockets right back up. And here we go again into 12. We're showing 1197 now on the ask. The high of the day, not far away from where we are. $12.11. Here's $12. There's good size posted on the level 2 there on the ask side of level 2 at 12. I would say I just throw a guesstimate out there, maybe a little bit less than 1,000 lots. That's from what we can see. But as we know, the what's it called? The hidden orders are sometimes operative on these ones. It's what we can't see that gets us into some trouble. So UMAC already in the way out. Shout out to Truth and Giggles. He's in for 219. Shout out to you. That's a great trade, Truth and Giggles, because you're well over $1 in the money right now. Hope you print up multiple storms.
Dang, all right then. We got another behind the scene look at Trade the Pool there, Shree. But this time we're diving into the community side of Trade the Pool. As you know, each trader gets his or her own hub, and inside one you'll find Trade Talk, a powerful charting and analysis space where traders map out strategies, break down setups, and share predictions with the community. And if you're looking for real-time interaction, the Trade the Pool Discord is the place to be. It's packed with active traders sharing insights, trades, and tips to grow together. At Trade the Pool, you're not trading alone. You're joining a firm that invests in your growth, technically, mentally, and financially. Head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code. Check the link in the description. All right, guys, so Microsoft is really strong today.
Look at this psycho. That's a good story, Ram.
Yeah.
Look at him, bro.
There you
What
go. Obi.
the hell is that,
Obi,
bro?
yeah.
What is
That is
that?
crazy. Yeah, Obi's either had a really good day or it's the end of his day, essentially. So that's how you know he's just chilling out. I'm sure it's probably the first one there. He's probably had a really, really good day because I heard him talking about some trades. So nice work there on Obi. And you know that guy. Everybody thought I was the bad influence. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi himself.
I can testify he is really, the tower days there are some days where the towers are very enthusiastically requested, for sure, on Fridays, for sure.
Yeah. They're definitely in the works. Anything can happen, you know what I mean? So you just got to be prepared for that. But your boy Joey O will be just chilling like a villain this weekend. I just want to just hit the outdoor workout gym, just get on some runs.
We're all believing that, huh?
Bro, dude, I'm gonna have to document this stuff.
Document it.
Yeah.
I like
24 hours. There's no faith at all, but that's okay. But we'll prove them wrong. The only person you need to believe in is yourself. There it is. Microsoft guys still hovering around these highs, slowly cooling down. I mean, that's why you want to put your stop slightly above these signals. This is a now dual kind of indecision print, and then also you have the second largest volume print right here. So just keep an eye out on that. A slow turnaround, but the pullbacks may be a little bit micro, right? You can see it here displayed. There's only a couple red candles on the 5-minute, and if we zoom out to the 15, I guarantee there's one in the pre-market. Okay, 2 if we're going to classify this. So a really strong name. Maybe just avoid it at all costs for the short, regardless if it looks juicy or not, Sharif.
All right, man. We're back into Workhorse. So let's give this one the old college try. It's got a couple of candle hold up here at the low 40s. It's now showing 50 on the ask side of the level 2. It's about a 2-penny spread, not too bad. Let's see if this one can decidedly break above the $0.50, because every time it works up into the $0.50, it's met with aggressive selling. So I've got a super tight stop because I don't want to give almost anything back on this one. If it loses 40 pennies, we're in at 8s. Well, we'll get out of this one super quick. So let's see if we're able to shake that seller now at the 50-penny area. For now, we cannot. So there we go. Up into 50 ones we go.
Yeah, this screen is crazy. This drape is being
pick it up on the bottom.
Oh, bro, it's making them flex a little bit too. That's how you know it's heavy.
Okay, bro. Gus Taco. This guy opened up in my area. Eh? He opened up at a bar that closed down lately. So is this a new thing?
Free advertising, Gus.
Yeah,
Get it, Gus.
Get it, Gus.
You know what we're doing over here, Neil?
We're doing it live.
Boom!
Now we're gonna have
into Workhorse. It's still going, Neil. It's all gas, no brakes on Workhorse, and it's a perfect analogy because they make cars.
That is true.
Hey!
Yeah, do your
Tariff
thing there,
Pescado.
baby.
Jam in with Joe coming up momentarily. You're going to get that rating on these Gus tacos. They're pretty good. The one thing that I will note
What?
is that they cheat out a little bit and they don't put the cheese in the burrito tacos, and I think you need that when you're going down that road. Sharif, I know you're cooking up there in Workhorse there. I'm glad that's working out. Me personally, I'm good. So if I put on any trades here this morning, it's going to be with relatively small size. But let's go Bitcoin. Start recovering. I like this one a lot. Boom! Show 'em what you got going on. Show 'em what you got going
bro.
on, man. It's
Oh,
Friday.
man.
I'm trying to wake up here. Maybe I need to do a couple of push-ups to get alive here.
Work
but I
out
live
for me. Work out for me. All right, bro.
What's Workhorse doing?
Workhorse?
Yeah.
It's working out, Joe. I don't know.
working
I don't know what else to say, bro. I have nothing to say. Workhorse is a rinse and repeat trade, guys. It is on the war path to the high side. It is now up over 65%. This one just keeps going and going and going. Go, Workhorse, go. All right, we're doing it live. We'll continue to keep the tabs on this one for you guys. We'll continue to scalp out so long as it is the right thing to do. Keep your eye on Workhorse. It's giving you the right trade right now, okay? All right. So just keep your eye on that. We're also still holding, guys, SLNH. We're in at 38s. It's now showing me 49s. We've got some good prints there at 55, so we've seen what this one can do. This is the second trade on it. Got an initial over here, scalped up. It dipped back down. I added once it showed me that it made a 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis. I added, and it continued to make a higher move. So we'll see if we can get maybe a print above that 55 print that we have on the day. I certainly wouldn't mind taking that out. So that'll be continuing to look at that. Nothing else for me at the moment, guys. I'm going to continue to watch these two. These are the ones that we've been executing on. Well, SLNH and WKHS, continue to watch that. There are others, though, so I'm just going to bring in the side chart so we can talk a little bit about them. UMAC, I've had trades on that, but, not the best. INKT, haven't traded this one at all, but this one is a really good one on the day, and it's been quite respectful, Joseph, of most of these moving averages. The 20, I want to say most respected one there. What I want to look out for here, Bovin, is since we've made a 68.83 high, do we hold 60? Look at this area crest over here that we couldn't break through 60. So previous area of resistance may act as a new area of support. In addition to that, you have the $10 level being $60 a psychological area of support. In addition to that, you've got the 10 EMA showing me 59 mid-80s or mid-70s, can't really tell. So generally around that $60 area. So there could be support here at $60. And for a possible move for a $10 winner here, I mean, 68.83 is the high of the day. You've got to assume we probably clear that high of the day, and you're hitting 70-something on that one. So I'm going to continue to watch INKT. If it holds up at 60, I'm a buyer. We'll continue to watch that one, Joey.
Good look there. Can I ask you a question?
Always.
If you could own any Mag 7 right now, it has to be the Mag 7, but it has to be at the current price. Which one would it be?
The current price?
Yeah, current price right now.
All right, let me just have a look. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Neil yelled out Amazon.
Neil said Amazon.
And I'm gonna say I think that's a good buy.
Yeah, I think that's a
the
good
tariff
one there.
stuff maybe behind them now, Joseph. There is that. I'm gonna say, but give me some more parameters. Like, what's my window here? What's my window? Investing?
Internal.
Or swing?
Yeah,
what's my window?
It's forever. You have a forever window.
All right, so then I buy Tesla.
Tesla?
Yeah, always.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't like the volatility that comes with it. Don't get me wrong.
But obviously, there's a massive upside potential.
There is exactly it, right? And especially if you can just shut the hell up for a little bit, bro.
Yeah. Just like for
like I love you, Elon, but just shut the hell up for a little bit,
bro. For like a couple months at least, you know what I mean?
All right, this is the behind the scenes look right there. There's the Chilean nightmare with all the tacos. There's Neil. There's Adara. There's Ram. And there's a lovely gentleman who I just got acquainted with there, who I don't know the name of. Shout out to you, my man.
Oh, what's up, my man?
He's taking care of business back there, as we all know.
He's having a good time.
So we're all having a good time
like,
here,
man.
guys. So that's it.
Wow.
I buy Tesla. What
Tesla?
You're gonna buy Google?
No, I would go Amazon with
Amazon? I respect that, man.
Neilage there.
Absolutely
I like
respect
Amazon.
that,
I think there's a lot of potential.
They got a good
there.
comment today. We'll read about it when they do the news. They got an upgrade today, and part of the reason for the upgrade was kind of digesting of the tariffs and thinking kind of, you know, those
Yeah.
145% tariffs that we had on China, that's not going to happen again, is what the analyst is saying. And so they're looking at some good upside potential. So I completely agree with you.
I think so too. I think I wouldn't be surprised if AWS beat actually this quarter as well too. All right, guys. Wow, DAL, what a move heading right into that target. I was looking at this, and this is what I was saying wow about earlier. So really nice move, and it's still slightly negative on the day. So watch out for DAL earnings day earnings day 2. I bought 70. Okay, Shane D, what's up, brother? I bought 75 shares of INKT at open 22.50. Closed out last 20% for $68, my best P&L trade of the year. Okay, let's pull up INKT. Because I don't know if you mean like, was that 60 something dollars, or you just put on a 60 something dollar trade? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that is a big time best trade there, brother. Really good look. Oh, my days. That is a big time move. Congratulations, Shane D, on that.
What he wrote to me.
Who said that? That's crazy.
Of course he is.
That's
right?
crazy. That is wild.
I don't want to read that one out
Whoa,
loud.
that's
What's
all right.
happening,
She would never do that.
No.
555% on the day? That is crazy.
What is that one?
This is
INKT.
IKT.
We've been talking about it all day,
You've been
my
talking
guy.
about, have you? Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love thanks for listening
You know
to
what?
it.
Honestly, my selective hearing is really, really
But
bad.
you got to concentrate.
Yeah, well, I am concentrating on something. That's why.
what I said. You gotta concentrate.
Yeah, exactly. So 555%. Congratulations on that one, Shane D. I'm sure
big
you're
win.
going to have more of an R&R relaxation weekend than I am.
That's the testicular cancer headline that I was talking about.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. So yeah, I'm sure you're gonna have a pretty good weekend there, my friend. Don't blow it all in one place, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right?
Oh, that's not saying much, man. Look what he wrote.
What are you saying now?
Look what he said. He knows we're talking about it, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Big Spa. We love you, Big Spa. Go ahead, Adara.
Let's talk here about Tesla. I know we just talked a little bit about Elon Musk there, but they actually just officially teased this Tesla India announcement. This has been kind of been previewed for a while. We also know that previously there were reports from it earlier today, but yeah, Tesla now saying Tesla logo, India, July 2025 for the record. So people are saying the showroom's going to open on July 15th. That would be Tuesday. And then, of course, we have, I guess, deliveries for India teased to start out here in August 2025. Also, you guys are mentioning what Meg 7 name you'd invest in. I have a question as well. If you could invest in a person like one Meg 7 CEO, who would it be? I think right now we're eating tacos anyway, but back to you. Yeah.
You said you're opening your own floor as well? Yeah.
That's awesome. You want to come on the show, man? You want to say what's
Come
up?
say hi. Come,
Can
come
we
step
get?
on. Yeah.
Let me just get the mic for you.
Yeah, let's get this guy a mic here. We'll talk.
All right.
Or
We got
here,
our
we'll
buddy
bring him on.
Anderson.
Anderson, what's up, brother?
I'm good.
Introduce yourself to the folks here on Trader TV.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Anderson. Here with Joey Options,
Hey.
Trader TV Live.
He knows what's going on. Well, tell us a little bit about the floor. You say you're opening up a floor.
So yeah,
I tried to get you the mic from the other side there, but it's not.
Yeah, sure.
It's plugged in on that other side.
right on.
So yeah, you're opening up your own floor, man.
Yeah, so it's been a journey for about maybe the last 3-4 years. I seriously decided to start taking trading seriously. Been watching you guys since COVID from episode number 2.
Wow, you're before me,
Episode
then,
number
man.
2.
You're
Yeah,
before me.
I watched all you guys come on.
Wow.
And watch you guys growth, and yeah, it's been a definite journey for me. I trade options. Bang! Let's go! So yeah, so I'm an options trader. Yeah, it's one of those careers where I decided that at the end of the day, I really want to take it seriously. So at the end of the day, you seek out the best, which is real trading.
Ooh, there we go.
You know, and at the end of the day, once you seek out the best, you just go for
Hey.
it. Forget about the rest, man.
Yeah, that's it.
So what do you like to trade, Anderson? Like, what's your wheelhouse?
So for me, my wheelhouse is I do a lot of mega cap stocks. So I'm into the Mag 7 heavy.
Fantastic.
I do Mag 7 and I do a little bit of scalping and stuff like that. But my main bread and butter is swing trading.
Oh,
So
talking his language.
yeah, buddy, I love swing trading and leaps.
Yep.
Leaps are where it's at, the big percentages and stuff. And then I usually, at the end of the day, I'll take opportunity when everything's overextended to the high side or low side.
Love
That's
it.
when I'll
Mean reversion.
yeah,
Fantastic,
mean
man.
reversion
Yeah,
style
yeah.
trading on the day or whatever. I mean, I'm telling people right now that trading is a career, man, that if you really take it seriously, you can definitely make a career out of this.
100%.
Literally, I came in here, I from watching you guys on TV. I'm here now next to Bash Brothers.
Hey, hold on. Before you go,
Yeah.
Give people a little bit of a view on your journey, because we always have newer viewers that
definitely.
are coming in, and
For sure.
it's new for them. So give people kind of an idea of the ups and downs and how you manage with everything.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that this is a job where sometimes you come into work and sometimes you might leave with no money. You might leave negative. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Through all those trials and everything, as long as you follow a consistent plan, you have your formula. And for me specifically, I had to find my niche, which is like I said, mean reversion trading, swing trading, and leaps.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, once you figure out a structure that you need to follow, you just stick to that game plan. Every trader is different. Every risk tolerance is different, guys.
100%.
So at the end of the day, for me, my journey started, I used to be a chef before.
Okay.
And then COVID hit.
Fantastic.
When COVID hit, I decided to pivot. And like I said, I've been watching the show since COVID. And I just watched and seen that, hey, these guys at Real Trading are structured people who are real people in Toronto, just like me.
Literally, right? That's what I felt as well. Same thing. Yeah.
And it's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if anybody here is trading $1 million a day, but it's not only about Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that stuff. That's facade. The real, honest truth is at the end of the day, as long as you take this career serious, it can be something that can blossom. Location freedom, especially location freedom. And it's a good career where, you know what? Literally, Sharif, Joe, I seen them on TV, and look at me here today.
There you go, man.
And this is where trading's got me. And also at the end of the day, the decision to open my own trading floor and stuff like that came because I started to understand. I'm originally from Barbados.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Beijing.
Caribbean.
Yeah. And salute to all the people back home. Barbados in the building. But yeah, I'm originally from Barbados, and the thing is, when you're there, opportunity is scarce, unfortunately.
100%. Yeah.
So my thought process is, okay, come to Real Trading, learn the basics, learn the foundations, educate myself, and then I always believe in paying it forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so once you pay it forward, so my grand scheme of things is I will be part of the Real Trading community. I'll be part of the Real Trading with you guys as well. Come in here and liaisoning with you guys to take all the education that you guys have brought to the table.
Appreciate that.
Absorb it, and then take it back to my people back in Barbados.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Location freedom.
Great stuff, brother.
Thanks for being on. Appreciate it, Anderson.
Thank you.
Likewise.
It was great talking with you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
For coming on. There you go, guys, man. We always got the realest guys coming on the show, and there you go. Another very real individual. Shout out to Anderson. Thank you for coming on and telling us about exactly, your journey. A lot of people. We got one.
One more second, because I'll get killed if I don't do it.
Go for it.
I'd like to shout out my lovely wife, Marie.
Hey, come on now. There he is.
Money.
Oh, you asked for it, you get it, baby. You asked for it, you get it.
Yeah. So yeah,
There you go,
I'd
baby.
like to
There
shout
you
her
go.
out because she supported me through all of this.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
You too.
And you got some love in the chat. You're getting plenty of love in the chat, Anderson. Shout out to Nimrod. Throwing money your way, too. Hey,
Towards you, man.
Shout out to Nimrod. No problem.
Thank you, Anderson.
Thank you, guys. Again, thanks, Anderson, for being on. Nimrod, thank you for the 60 shekels super chat. All class, as always. Shout out to everybody there sending love to Anderson's way.
Yeah.
Always the realest people on the show, man. Absolutely love it. What do you got there, Joey Options?
Yeah, good look there. I'm just looking at Ramin starting to distribute the tacos, so I'm waiting for mine
that right?
over here, Ramin, so I could do my jamming with Joe, and then we'll get that review going. But no, all the love. Thank you guys very much for that one. Neo's cooking up. We're still waiting for another potential short opportunity here in Microsoft. I'm sorry, in the queues, but I want to pull up and see what Microsoft is doing, still hovering around those highs. Meta put in a nice indecision here as well too, and you can see it took a little bit of a pullback, so that's a nice inverted hammer print right there, and then you kind of get this shallow pullback, but as long as you don't breach that, maybe you'll get that move back into the volume weighted average price. So that is that game plan, and there it goes. If you're not catching the top, if I'm not catching the top end of this range, I'm not going to be shorting it just yet, right? Even though we may break through some of these support levels, it is roughly around my previous entries as well, across the board on these entries too, but I don't want it down here. I would prefer middle of the range or the top end of the range, so that is my game plan here on the TQs. And I mentioned, guys, yeah, I've had my trades earlier in the morning. I'm not going to be putting on too much, and if I do, it's going to be relatively small size because we want to end the week with a positive note.
Yeah, man, straight up. Yeah. Yes, I agree with that 100%. I'm still watching Workhorse. I mean, there's not much bad to say about this. It keeps defending all these key levels. And, you know, sometimes I'm entering, sometimes I'm not. I'm not taking every available opportunity, but look at this. Look at this respect here by Workhorse for the 10 exponential, man. 493 high a day, dips back in, right into 450, holds the 10 EMA, which could also be price action, previous area of resistance, rockets right back up into about 480, 475. Currently, it's off the high of the day. It's up 62.5%, but it's been excellent. Workhorse has been excellent, and I gotta say, I did not anticipate this from Workhorse. My experience with the stock has been that it's quite the bamboozler. It'll give you a bull flag, maybe two, and then the retracement comes in fast and furious. I guess maybe don't judge it too quickly is the lesson I've learned from that, because Workhorse is continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows. We'll see where this one ends up going on the day. I don't have a position in it now. I'm still holding a position, though, in SLNH as this one continues to put in higher highs and higher lows. I'm looking for a break of that 150 decisively. Last time we worked into 150, we did reject it by about a penny. We're about 2 pennies away from it again. Let's see if we're able to take it out this time. UMAC as well. All gas, no brakes. INKT, Joseph. All gas, no brakes. This thing closed out at $8 yesterday. It's got a 71.37 high. It is up 815%. This could be the first quadruple digit winner above $1 on the year. I still don't recall another one that's actually been over 1,000%. That's above $1. On the year so far, and we trade these small caps every day, saving except for the days when I'm not here, which is not that many. So, I mean, I probably won't execute anything on INKT at the moment just because it's really expensive, and well, we're doing the show, so I don't want to be managing that kind of risk, but there's others as well. UMAC continues to go. Shout out to Bovin, who's been holding this thing since $11. This thing's put in 1228 high. It's up 38%. Generally respectful of the 20, it looks like over here. There's your first pullback into the 20. There's your second pullback into the 20. All of them held quite well, relatively speaking, if you gave it the requisite room for your stop. So there's really nothing bad to say, Joseph, about these small cap gappers today, despite the fact, and this is the ironic part, don't look, who's the best performing major average on the day of the four?
The Russ.
The best?
Yeah.
It's the opposite. So that's
down.
why I was almost setting it up. The small caps are not giving it up, and the Russ is down 1.2%.
Okay.
So the best performing
Dow.
one's the NQ.
The NQ.
The NQ best performing.
Man, I suck at these.
It's okay. Followed by, it's not a big deal. It's followed by the ES, the Dow third, and the Russ the worst.
I swear every question you ask me, I get it wrong. I
don't think that's a big deal, dude. Like,
no, it's not. Obviously, I'm joking. Yeah. Oh, what do we got? The picture in picture
Oh,
there?
I love it.
There
I
we
absolutely
go,
love it. Assassino, can I just show this chart real quick? Because SLNH is breaking out to the high side. This is where we wet the beak last time at 54s. We did add over here. I won't be taking anything out until we take high day. There's just absolutely no point for me to take the same out that I took last time. I'm going to wait for a 155 break, or I'll get stopped out. Simple as that.
Good look there. Oh man, I thought
what happened,
I'm heartbroken here. I'm heartbroken here on this one here. 56% says yeah, sure, whatever, Joe. I'm heartbroken. No, I'm only joking with you guys. Yeah, let's take a look, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of the same thing. But my guy, Charlie Taff, Don't think people don't forget, Charlie. No, in all seriousness, he's talking about that 320. He's right. There is a lot of size there, brother. So what I would look at this here now, I want to pull up Tesla's daily. I'm just going to pull it up on my side chart here, and I just want to see it from a daily perspective on what we got going on. Are we potentially in a bull pattern right now? And I think so. There's a lot of noise going on here with this name. So I'm just going to delete some names. 320 may be in the works, right? So for next week, I would keep an eye out on that. And then any potential floors as well, too. So 300, you have 22,000. That would put us roughly south of this support. Well, no, actually not quite. But it would put us right around the support level here, around that 300 there is what I was talking about. Is that what I said? Yeah, 300. So that's where the other size is on the put side right here. But then also we have a call wall. They're both relatively close. I mean, one has 34,000, the other one has 22,000. Not substantially different, but those are the levels that I'd be looking for. But the real big thing is to wait until the rollover. And if this size increases, then maybe we get that magnet effect. And the exact same thing here. If that starts to decrease, maybe you do get that move higher. But other than that, I would just be keeping an eye out. But a potential target for 320, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Tesla got into that realm by next week. But you want to wait for this contract to expire, this expiration cycle, and then you can just look come Monday morning where that open interest lays, and if it is at 320 still or slightly lifted, then maybe you can have somewhat of a bullish week on TSLA. But there it is, guys, a nice move down on the TQs. I think you can continuously sell these ranges today, so any move back towards the top side, then I'm going to be looking to fade this name one more time. So it is Friday, and I would not be surprised if the volume really started to cool off here in the latter half of the session, Sri.
Absolutely, Joseph. Yeah. All right, guys. Workhorse is continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows, man. I mean, it is just on the move up. It's now up 69%. I think we're 3 or 4 pennies, maybe 5 off the high of the day. The high of the day, 497. We're showing 92s right now on the ask side of level 2. So it's been a good one right now. But where to enter, I'm going to say next time this dips into the 10 EMA on the 5, you hit the buy button there. At least that's where I'm gauging the support is for on the support on Workhorse. Nothing for me, though, on this one currently. Still watching SLNH as it popped into 53s, back down into 50. So that seller at 50 re-upping their position, it kind of feels like. So we'll keep an eye on that. Wisp away. Oh, man, background changed behind Sharif and Joseph with an image of Trump. Donald? Is Donald here? I don't know. I don't know what the production team did for a second there. I didn't see it, but apparently there was an image of Donald Trump there behind us.
What's up,
so
brother,
we'll see.
man?
Oh, there it is. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Yeah. This is fantastic. You're doing it all, Katina, man. How was the swim, brother?
How was it?
It was good?
What else? Did you do anything else?
Go get some US dollars.
Oh, my man's
Where'd
going to
you
the
go
bank,
did you walk
baby.
to the Eden Center there and get it, or?
No, I just went to
Oh, what's up, shorty?
Why would you need to go to the Eden Center?
Well, you get a better exchange rate there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Can I say the best exchange rate is this platform over here, but you got to need 3 days to withdraw it,
Yeah,
right? Have you seen that before? Or you get the spot price?
Yeah, but then you have to take it out of your bank, though, after, no?
Okay, so you transfer it from your brokerage in your bank. What happens with that?
But then don't they charge you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why would they charge you from withdrawing from your own bank?
I don't know.
No,
That's what
Joey,
they do.
come on, you're saying
Come on,
stuff
man.
right now. Come on,
Crazy,
no.
man.
Come on, Joey, let's go.
tacos have arrived.
You see that? Why? That's why I was wondering why you came with the food, Katina, man.
still
You're not going to get any
waiting.
tacos?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's plenty of tacos back there. All right. All right. We're having a good time. All right, guys. Yes, I know I won't give up my day job. I know I can't sing, but I just don't care. That's the thing.
I already know I can't sing. Yeah, our guy was
Jacques, you guys are truly the best ever. I feel like I'm working anymore. Shout out to you, Jacques, man. Hope
Shout
you're
out to you, man.
you're having a great day. Katina, man, is in vacay mode, says Andre Arnett. He's always in vacay mode, he says, baby. I don't know I don't want to read that one out loud. He looks like a Canadian Mountie. All right. Well, that's
Who
fine.
does?
I don't know. Katina, man, maybe?
No.
Nobody's
Have you
wearing
ever,
red.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Have
wearing
you ever
red.
seen a
Red.
Canadian Mountie? That's not what
Well, that's kind of the
those
thing
boys
right
look
there.
like.
Joey, what do you got, man? Because I've got nothing on at the moment.
I'm like.
Okay, let me cover this.
Go ahead.
All right, because can you guess?
Just keep
Can you
going.
guess which one
Workhorse,
we're
man.
talking
It's
about?
working, man.
Workhorse
We're going to Adara.
continues to work. I didn't hear that we need to go to Adara. Are we going to Adara?
I think that's what I got there.
Andre,
yeah.
are we going to Adara? Oh, I'm not plugged
He's
in.
not
I'm
tapped in
sorry.
there.
Go ahead. All right, Adara.
We alluded to, I do have a new fun infographic for you guys. I had a lot of fun with this one, and it is about the relationship between Fed Chair Powell and Donald Trump. Now, people might remember, hey, Adara, didn't you do one of these a while ago? I did, but it was only about Trump's Truth Social post about Powell. Now, this one, we go back even further. We go back to 2017 for this because I did an entire deep dive into the relationship here with Powell and Trump. So let's get into it. The first infographic here with a purple background in honor of Powell's purple ties is really covering here the start of the administration. About a year in, we have Trump nominating Powell here to serve as the chairman of the Federal Reserve, but it doesn't even take, it's about 8 months into his term when Trump starts criticizing Powell. He says that the Fed raises interest rates, quote, every time we do something great. By the next summer, he's getting really mad. He's saying the Fed has insane policies. But then by November 2020, he was actually pleased as punch with how they responded, hello, Sean, to the pandemic. Then we get the 47th presidency, and as you can see here, tensions are at an all-time high, much like the market. You can check out more details on this one in our other infographic, specifically with their Truth Social post. That is also linked to this post. But basically, yeah, lots of tension here for Powell and for Trump. Also, interestingly enough, I think these men were only photographed once together during one day because if you notice, they're wearing the same ties in all three of these photos. Back to you.
All right, guys, Workhorse just doesn't stop. It is a 525 high. Right now, that's my favorite number, not going to lie. 525, the high of the day. The 10 exponential showing up at 475. We got a 3-candle green setup right now, all with higher highs and higher lows. And here we go again into 525. Joseph, do we take out this level? Showing 24s, the profit takers, like obviously coming in at the high of the day to wet the beak, but here we go again with that high. And there's a new high of day, 527. WKHS feels like it might end up being a triple-digit winner. It's another high day, Joseph, 530. Joey's going like this. He wants the belt. Workhorse gets the belt here.
Is that mine?
No.
Oh, God. All right, Siesta, Mike. I'm scared. No, I didn't want. I've got a lot of food.
Okay, Ramin, may I please have
We're
mine?
just gonna
Thank you.
do the super chat. Siesta Mike, 44, dropping $20 there in the chat. Thanks, legends. With your help, I am full-time trading and crushing it. Leaving the desk now to go to Siesta Beach to soak in the Gulf. Aloha. Siesta Mike, I really liked you until you started rubbing in the fact that you were going to the beach, but we're going to spend the money for you anyway, my man. Fantastic look. Shout out to Siesta Mike, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You looks like you printed up a multiple storms on the day, and it looks like you're going to print up more storms on the
have a
beach.
mic on.
So shout out to you. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend as well, and be safe always. We're gonna
especially at the El Playa there. Be safe at the El Playa.
We should probably be telling you that as well, though. On the
Be safe
with your weekend coming up, we got to tell you to be safe.
I'm probably in the most safest environment. Man, stop this noise. I'm telling you, I'm in the safest place there ever is.
I don't know. Ribram, are you buying this guy's story about, he's going to have like a low-key weekend? You're not buying it, right?
I'm going to put up the poll.
She's the one that put up the poll, and she says cap. Absolute cap.
Man, they used to call me low key back in the day, right?
Low-key. Well, that was back in the day, though.
Yeah,
no?
yeah. But well,
People change.
I mean, Joey Options was a little bit more wild back in the day, but not anymore, man.
And he's gonna make a comeback on the weekend, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I might find myself at Humber Bay Park. Who
Hey,
knows?
brother,
right?
you let me know. You let me know. All right, guys. Now it's time for the hottest segment of the day. That is Jamming with Joe.
Are you spicing it up?
I spiced it up.
You got mild.
She's laughing at me. All right, guys. All right, here it is. This is the Berea. We're going to test this one out here. We're going to give a real rating. All right? One bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Here we go. I love this. How we doing? So give a grade on everything. Give a grade on like the actual wrap itself and then the meats and you know what I mean? We need it all. Wait, man, come on, bro.
Ooh. All right. Tortilla. 7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
It's up there.
Good one. Bang, 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 bang.
And?
onions and parsley in there.
Yes, fresh?
8.5. I love
fresh.
onions, very fresh.
Good.
And the beef.
Now that's the most important part, Joey.
We're gonna give
very detailed
a
here.
7.6, a 7.6 on the meat and the burrito
right,
taco. So there it
okay.
is, jamming with Joe.
All right,
We'll
so
take
Gus
one
can
more.
do it then.
Gus got it.
Gus
He
got it.
man.
Gus has got it. He opened up in my area, man. I was telling you, Neil off camera. I just noticed this morning, actually, that he was opening up in the area. So I might have to pay him a visit on the weekend, Joey.
They're very good. They're
Very good. Very nice.
Relatively authentic.
All right.
You like that?
All right, people are talking about BBAI over here, so let's have a look at Big Bear because I didn't see this one moving today, but we'll have a quick look at Big Bear AI. Where are we at with the Baird one? What we're selling off, man. What are you guys looking at here? We're down 7.2% on Big Bear. It's more profit taking. This thing's been a rocket ship lately. So this, to me, looks like a bear flag. I don't get involved here as a long, but there does seem to be a buyer for whatever reason at the $0.50, give or take. You're still rejecting the 20 exponential moving average on the pops, putting in lower highs, not necessarily lower lows. I don't get involved in Big Bear. I don't really short these small cap gappers either, even though Big Bear not technically a small cap gapper anymore, is it? And here we go again, Joseph Wilson, right up into the high of the day again on SLNH. We're about a penny off that 55 high. I packed my patience on this one. I've been holding since 38 on the reload, and I'm not going to take it out until we break that high a day. Ideally, I'd like a 69 print, you know what I mean? Just so we can make it, very apropos. We're going to go ahead and wait at 69, actually. And I might be a little ambitious because that would probably push us up another 15 or 20%. I'm just going to leave it there. And then if we end up rejecting at the high again, I might change my tune. But we're going to continue to hold SLNH as we move back into 54s. Joseph Wilson, UMAC ahead again to the high side. Shout out to Bovin. Bovin, I think he's been reloading this, the OG Bovin, on the dips. And there you go. You get a 2-candle pullback. But that's all the sellers could handle at the moment, or muster, excuse me. And then we make another high of the day. So it's $12.40 the high on UMAC, which has been insanely respectful of the 10 for the shallow retracements, the deeper retracements. As you see, they're holding up at that yellow line, which is a 20 EMA on the 5. So great look today for whoever's been in INKT, UMAC, SLNH, WKHS. It has been dealer's choice today in this market for small cap gappers because they've all been kind of doing quite well and not really giving up the ghost. So we'll continue to watch these, Joey, as we move into the last hour of trading.
Time flies, man.
Sir.
Time flies when you're having fun with great people and eating burrito tacos. That's for sure. Oh, yeah.
Get it, Joey.
There we go. Time flies when you're having a good time chilling with great people, eating burrito tacos. Yes, guys, I know I said parsley, it's cilantro. I apologize for that.
It's all good. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, apparently in the chat.
Yeah, but it's like,
you know
right away you're going to get fact checked, bro.
Easily.
Yeah.
But no, guys, Tesla's a pretty good look off of the lows, right? I mean, we put in a low of around 305 here on the day, and we talked about the open interest at 300, so we couldn't even quite get to that level on the put side, that is, and then you bounce right off it. So Luis Martinez, my guy, is saying he wants 320 today. I don't know if that's going to be in the works, but also anything can happen. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, we don't have any of the burrito sauce, unfortunately, there, Riri Jordan. So yeah, the broth is obviously the way to go, and you need the cheese in there. But my guy Gus ain't cooking it up like that. But it's just onion and a little cilantro. I think that's a pretty authentic taco. We got great cuisine down here in Toronto, man. You can get everything. Whatever you want, we got it. That's for sure. But yeah, Tesla, really good look here, guys. And this is what I'm talking about in the likes of Microsoft. You don't, it's going to be really tough to short this name, right? Because how strong it is throughout the session. And then when you do have those definitive signals to the downside, it's just essentially almost a micro pullback. So you do have to be slightly more patient. And for some reason, I don't know why the VIX is spiked up, but the volatility has kicked up a little bit here in the overall market. I mean, you can see it just from our intraday price action here. We run higher, we sell it off, we run a little higher again, we're starting to sell off. So somewhat of a choppy mess in the overall market. So just be cautious, right? Don't be looking for those big time breakout moves because I don't think that's going to come into play here. So again, that's the name of the game. Excuse me, Mike P. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff down here in Toronto. I can't complain about this city whatsoever, to be honest with you. It's a fantastic one. But then again, I haven't also been to too many major cities either, so maybe I got to work on that one before I give it a rating. But I'll give Toronto a solid in the summertime, an 8-2, a solid 8-2, right? From a city perspective, you got everything, whatever you're looking for from a party standpoint. We got festivals every weekend. Especially right in my neighborhood too. I live in like a kind of a popular neighborhood, kind of where it's a lot of youthful individuals, relatively big as well. So there's always something going on there. There's music constantly playing. Some people are slightly subdued though, right? Like, I think that's a lot in the Canadian nature. Sorry, I'm not talking about stocks, talking about Canadians, but we were at a pool the other day and it's like a nice hot day and everybody's out on the rooftop, etc. And my girlfriend's cousins, Selena's cousins, are a part of this Facebook group for their condo, and there's like older people who are just writing in like, yeah, people are saying essentially people are having too much fun outside, but it's like, get that garbage out of here, right? Like people are just want to enjoy the summer. We only have a couple of months of it anyways, so just keep that in mind.
Someone beefing you?
No, when we went to the pool on Sunday.
Yeah.
People were writing in the Facebook group that like, yeah, everyone outside is too loud, but there's obviously a lot of people. It was a really hot day, and people were just ordering drinks and stuff, but they were just being party poopers.
Well, it's better than people sitting outside the pool and taking pictures of people inside the pool.
Oh yeah, is that what they do over in here?
You and I didn't talk about that already?
No. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Not
Yeah.
gonna go there,
That one.
but-
Yeah. I feel you on that
Dude,
one.
that
yeah.
was making the rounds online. People were
Yeah.
taking videos of those dudes
Doing the videos?
that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably creepy. Are we talking about the same pool? I don't
No,
really wanna say.
condo pool.
Condo pool, yeah, okay,
condo
good.
pool, yeah. So that's
Because that was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, here you go, guys. You're getting across the board here. Let me pull up my whole chart so you guys can display it, see it a little bit easier. But we're getting that bounce, right? So you can see the Nasdaq starting to recover here. The Q is there, and then the SPY heading back in towards the high of the day. So whatever's being sold is being bid right back up. So a really, really strong market on today's session, guys. There's no questioning that.
All right, guys. Everything is really, close to highs or at highs, whether it's UMAC, INKT, Workhorse, SLNH, even Z or Z, sorry, my American friends out there. ZEPP, we had a quick trade on this one, but not really participating all that much. It's not that far off as well. I want to say the 950 area is really the area of resistance, despite the fact that the high of the day is 970. Look at that. Just a lot of respect today with these chart patterns, but it's really Workhorse that seems the most destined to take out, these next levels. Maybe UMAC as well. Let's weasel on over to Workhorse and see whether there is a trade that we can have at the moment as we inch up a lot closer to that 550 area. 547 high a day. We're showing 46s. Goodness gracious on the level 2. There's 47. There's a new high a day on Workhorse. It's now up 87.25%. It's all gas, no brakes. Be on the lookout for the pullbacks. Mike P. DeRider calling it out excellently in the chat, saying classic stair-step pattern. Couldn't agree more, Mike. And with a lot of these classic stair-step patterns, where you have 3 or 4 candle green, 2 or 3 candle red, you're likely going to find support, not always, but you're likely going to find at least that initial area of support when you see that stair-step pattern on the 10 exponential moving average. And that's exactly what Workhorse has done on the day. It's been insanely respectful of the 10. There has been no closing print below the 10 EMA for as far back as I can see. Let's do this together over here. Let's see exactly where the last time we did close below the 10 EMA was. Let me just zoom in on Workhorse. See below the 10, below the 10. Man, we're going to have to go all the way back to about 1040 when we were kind of consolidative on this. But once we started getting that breakout and we broke above that 350 area, which I would say was that initial area of resistance, at least for the first hour and 50 minutes of trading after the bell, 9:30 to about 10:45. Then you got this candle at 10:55, which was kind of the breakout candle, and we haven't looked back since. Sure, you got a 2 candle pullback into the 10. You moved up again, and then you held the 10 beautifully, and you've continued to hold the 10 the entire way through. So the last time was around 1040 where we just had a momentary breach below that 10 EMA. Otherwise, Workhorse has been putting that stair-step up pattern. I want to bring your attention to INKT. This thing is up 764% was more at the highs, but it's pulling back into another predictable area of support. Look what it did over here at the 10 EMA. It held up and then it made another new high. So here we are again at the 10 EMA on the 5, Be careful though, because it has shown its propensity to lose a 10 like it did over here from around 11 to about almost 12, 11.50. It held the 20 and then it kind of rocketed up and made new high. So be on the lookout for a hold of the 10.
Oh, wow.
And then if that doesn't hold, be on the lookout for a hold of the 20, Joey.
Wow, Sharif, look at AMD on the day there, brother.
It's a great look, man.
Wow, what a session AMD is putting on throughout the day there, guys. Man, what a big time recovery. I mean, we're still some ways off of these all-time highs here on Nvidia, on AMD, sorry, 35% to be exact. But what a big time move in AMD, up 90% off of Liberation Day lows.
Bro, crazy.
You know what's crazy, dude? I was thinking about just grabbing some at the lows, obviously, as a thought now, hindsight 2020. But just to do how slow this price action wasn't around this area here, and then off these lows, $76 you could have been grabbing some AMD for. So I think that was a really, really good grab there. People were slowly starting to allocate shares at the lows. So yeah, really good luck, Mike Peter Ryder. I love and use AMD Ryzen chips. Yeah, I have a Ryzen 7, I believe, or 5. I know I have a Ryzen 5. To be exact. So yeah, TQ still grinding higher. Not going to look for the short on this one just yet. Who knows what's going to happen? It could be an all-day grind. Google's starting to slowly curl over as well too, so keep that in mind. As well as, excuse me, the likes of Nvidia. Potential double bottoms right here. Right there. See ya. Yeah, see ya, brother. Take care, eh? So 165.90 there on Nvidia, Sharif.
Oh, sorry, I was charting.
No,
sorry,
cool.
I was
Yeah.
concentrating. Yeah, all right, guys. I'm just looking at INKT. This is the first time I've actually looked at it seriously today. I'm hesitant to want to trade this because right now it's about $1 spread. Okay? Yeah. INKT, Adara, come on.
I'm looking
You got
right
the
now.
spread. You got the small cap guy. No, she's going to look at it. It's so funny. All right, guys. So INKT. I mentioned it, Adara, but you know when it's a small cap gapper, it's I know you're not a big fan of these ones, and I don't blame you. Yeah, that's fair. So I'm watching this one. I want to see if it finds support at the 10. It's finding support for now. The prior bar high, guys, is $70.95. So we're currently 69.20. Yeah, 69.20 is the current bar high. Let's see if this one, it's already holding on a wick basis. Whether or not it makes another new high, that's a different story. So INKT is still all gas, no brakes. You got a bit of a pullback. You got to pull back into the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. But just the cost of doing business on this one gets to be prohibitively expensive at times. So make sure you are getting it at the right area and you're using sound risk management skills so that you don't end up blowing up your account. So I'm seeing the 10 EMA right now at about $67, give or take, okay? And that seems to be where the money fills are. There's a seller at 69 here that we can't shake on INKT. We zig and zag. There we go, right back into 69 again. Still can't shake that seller at 69. So we're still putting in lower highs. Okay, so we still haven't cleared the prior bar high. And there we go now, 69.20, 69.46. Good look here for INKT. Looking to take 800% again, but right down. Again, Joseph, at 69. So that short seller or profit taker doing his thing 25 here at 69 keeps showing back up.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for that. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, good stuff there. Yeah, just
UMAC high day. Shout out to
high.
Bubin.
Shout out to
There
Bubin.
it is,
Yeah,
man.
bang
Look at
right
that,
there.
Joseph. Look at that, bro.
Honestly, Sharif, just from me kind of analyzing and just monitoring some of these trades, man, you put on really good trades with these small caps. But I've noticed that they run really, really well in the afternoon.
And that wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
And you know, RC doesn't trade these in the afternoon. You know that.
He's right in the morning. Yeah,
he's right in the morning. And then they have, well, why? Well, it's not for no reason. It's not just because he wants to punch in at 7:30 and then move on his day. Maybe he does do that, but that's not the reason. The reason is there's no volatility halt parameter, Joseph, in the morning.
In the morning.
And in the aftermarket
that's
as well.
how he has the ability to take care
You're
of
getting
it.
3, 4, 5 baggers quick as you like because there's no volatility halt.
That's fair. Yeah. Really, really good look there, guys. All right, so we're short this market one more time. 84.50, I'm going to hop out, so that's about 16 cents or so. I'm not going to give it much. And I mentioned that I'm just relatively small right now, all right? So not going to put on nothing crazy from a share standpoint.
Okay.
Because we're just relaxing. and having a good time. But NVDA heading towards some key support levels. I mentioned this time and time again, and I don't know why I do this sometimes. It frustrates me because I'm like short the Qs, but then look at Google, right? Like you can just take a look at Google and it's like, okay, should you be shorting the Qs when Google is kind of double bottoming and then heading towards the high of the day? No, and it's my fault for not looking at that. Just be really cautious, guys. Either trade the individual names or just be careful of what's going on. I'm fortunate enough to have NVDA selling a little bit, so that is helping me be a couple pennies in the money, but we're going to wait for this lower end of the range, or we're going to get stopped out. I'm not going to be micromanaging any of these trades. Hey, brother, what crypto are all the meme coins created on? Sola or ADA? Hey, man, I absolutely have no idea. Is it?
Most of them are
Hey, brother,
Solana,
what crypto is Solana?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
That's your understanding?
And I'm not no
Solana's name?
expert by any means.
I'm
but
far
my
from any
understanding is,
expert.
yes.
Like, I have the most simplistic reason as to why I own Bitcoin is just because there's a limited amount of it.
Where's your friend?
Who?
Copilot.
Oh, Copilot?
I thought that would have been a definite Copilot move right there.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Come on, Copilot, show yourself.
So what do you want me to ask it?
What are most meme coins or altcoins, whatever you want to call them?
What are most meme coins?
What
blockchain? Yeah, what blockchain? What blockchain
there you go.
Are most meme
coins built on?
Built on, better word.
People are gonna harass us in the chat. You're using the LLM wrong.
Yes, so whatever. The mother
prompt engineering time.
Okay, I think it's BNB, Binance,
Well, Katina,
Smart
man,
Chain.
you guys see some of the comments I see in the
And
chat.
Solana, Museum, yeah, so interesting, there are similar name projects called Museum of Meme.
Sharif, I shorted your friend INKT.
You shorted it, Dara? We're not talking the rest of the day. I'm just joking.
Ooh, I can't.
I'm going long, go.
And Ether,
No,
yes,
you're
Solana, so there you
actually,
go.
you're not the first person, Adara, that said that. Some other person in the chat said they're also short. I think, hold on, let me call them out over here because I think, yes, poor Robinhood. INKT just short now. So you've got poor Robinhood with you there,
He's
Adara.
with you on
I
that
hope
one.
you both print up storms. I'm not involved, so I don't really care.
Oh, ooh, okay, all right then. So there it is, guys. TQs still short this up here at these highs. Maybe we get that move back in towards the volume-weighted average price, or if these big names continue to climb higher, then we just get out of that trade and don't fight the trend, Sharif.
Shout out to poor Robinhood. He's short at 67. My man's $1, 2, 3, 4, $5 in the money. Great short by poor Robinhood, short at 67. This one is losing the bid quick as you like. Look at INKT. It does possibly have support at 59.60 area, so be on the lookout for that. That's a prior area of previous resistance, so be on the lookout, guys. 700%, but it looks like maybe the short is in. We shall see. The one that I'm currently involved in right now is SLNH, and we've been holding on to this one for a long time as it comes right back into that high of the day at 55s. Initially got in at 34s. We added there on 38s as we had exhausted the shares, and this one headed right back up. So be on the lookout for that. But you know what? The other one that's been all gas, no brakes is Workhorse. It is now knocking on the door of that 100% area as it breaks through that 550 now on to the 560. 561 high of day. Fantastic look right now for WKHS. It does seem a little bit top heavy here. A couple of topping tail candles forming. This candle that closed at 110. This was a doji candle, a candle of indecision, so be on the lookout right now as we have a couple of topping tails, which could be, could be indicative of some selling coming at this level. We'll have to wait and see. But there goes SLNH into the high of day. 58s. We're now 20 pennies in the money on a dollar name. Keep your eye out on this one. This one did have a tendency to squeeze. So something tells me over here there were some people short because this one rocketed up in a way that we haven't seen it do basically all day. Okay, and a super random area, 1120. For it to rocket up in that way, and it didn't hang out there for that long as people probably took profit, but we are above that level now decidedly, and there's another high of the day. We're now now 159 HOD. This is also closing in on 50%. There's 161 high. Ooh. Here comes the squeeze now on SLNH. Let's see if we can get 62s. Good look. I'm waiting at 69s, Katina, man. We're just going to leave it there, and if we miss it, we miss it. 64 now, the high of the day. Go, SLNH, go. Let's see where this one has. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one. Let's see what INKT is doing, though. Let's see if I'm going to jump in that short. Okay, so it did find at least momentary defend here at 61, so be on the lookout for that. It popped up back into 66.5. It's still putting in lower highs, though, when you look at the candles. Oh, no, Joseph.
No, what
we
happened?
got into 68s. No. I'm always trying to take it out at 69s. It popped into 68 and it didn't print. I'm flattening it out here. Let's just take it there. No, I can't.
All right, yeah,
There,
Penny, you don't
so
want
we
to
just flatten it out there.
Fight. You don't want to fight for a penny, that's for sure.
No, but let me go back to INKT for a sec. For those who are short, you're still putting in lower highs on the successive 5-minute candle. So even though it did get a pop up like that, let's not start thinking long too quickly here on INKT. Have a look. This candle of indecision at 12:45 has a high. Well, that is the high of the day, 73.50. The subsequent candle, let's bring this into center. Subsequent candle, the high of the day, 72.83. You see where I'm going with this? 72.12, 70.95, 69.20, 69.46, 66.90. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You guys gonna guess? Another lower high.
I wasn't gonna guess that one. I was gonna say high or low. I was gonna say high or low. Yeah.
Guys, you're such trolls, bro.
All right, guys, it's time.
Yeah,
go
ahead.
Oh, sorry.
My
Yeah,
bad, go ahead,
yeah. It's time for tomorrow's trade today. I did that.
What happened?
I did that on purpose.
No.
On purpose. This guy.
What
All right,
happened?
that's enough.
Man, there's something I'm missing here. Tomorrow's trade today.
That's another segment brought to you by yours truly, stolen by Jay Real over
They
there.
did it
I have a new
together.
nickname for you, Jay Real. That's your new name, Jay
see how
Real.
quick
No
it
one
was
keeps
to
it more
jump?
real than
He
Joseph.
jumped quick there. Katina, man, I had never seen you move
because
that quick, bro. Like, what's going on over here?
I got some bok choy stuck in my teeth over here.
There you go.
All right, I'm out of here.
The best show, man. It feels every bit of Friday.
It does.
Every bit of Friday, right?
I'm in so R&R mode,
man.
it's not even
Great
funny,
day,
man.
great day.
Joey giggles. Yeah, you can call me that if you'd like, man. I like to smile and laugh a lot because smiling and laughing is good for the health. So, all right, guys, we're still in this TQ short. Let's see what we got going on. AMD is just going absolute parabolic here, guys. A big time move, and you can see from the lows, 141, now trading up at 147. So this is an absolute monstrous move. Google heading right back towards those high of the days. Amazon is cooking up a storm as well, too. So what a positive. This is bull market stuff, right? And that's what Katina Man was saying to me yesterday, is that we're in a complete bull market. And leading into a Friday when the volumes are relatively cooler, you can see where that strength is laying, and that's to the bullish side here, guys. So I'm not going to say be buying things, but just wait for any dip that you get to look to get involved, honestly, because it's been such a phenomenal run. And if we're talking about Amazon, wow, okay, I really like it even more as we sit on top of this resistance zone right here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
225, we'll call it flat. And I mean, we're still probably down about 5 or 6% off of those all-time highs. They're 7% to be exact. Okay. So a really good look in Amazon. I think it's only a matter of time until this thing makes a new ETH, and that's going to be in the likes of Google as well, still down about 13% off of ETHs. So yeah, if these big boys start to play catch-up, then just watch out for this market to take another leg higher. So down 13% to be exact. Sure, you're playing footsies with me.
My bad, bro. I didn't mean to do that. Why is your foot on my side,
I don't know, but that's all right, man.
Yeah, man. I need a little room up in this, you know what, bro.
All right. No, I'm actually playing. That we got a kick out of that one.
Ram.
But that's
888 views, baby. We're up. We're almost at 1,000 views, Ram. Let's go. You did? Oh, thank you. Well, don't share it on our account because we're going to get in trouble there.
More views on that one there, Sharif. Nice look there, brother. I gave you a good idea for your other video tonight.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It'll get me a nicer, younger audience.
And some stable coin talk there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not really my niche, though, to be quite honest with you. I'll talk a little Bitcoin. All right, we're going to do the news now, Joey. Do you have anything you want to cover before we weasel in?
Let's hop right into the news.
Let's do it, baby. So there was, look, it wasn't a light news day, but there was some stuff, macro, that we can talk about with tariffs and whatever. Your boy Donald back at it. Of course, how can he not be? He's got to maintain the drama. And today, Canada is the focus of that drama. Trump will impose 35% on Canadian imports effective August 1st, citing Canada's retaliatory duties and its role in fentanyl trafficking. More on that to come. The new tariff is in addition to the existing sectoral tariffs that could be raised further, he said, if Canada responds in kind with reciprocal tariffs. Trump warned any retaliation would result in matching tariff hikes on top of the base 35 that he's already slapping. So obviously issues for us. Trump cited the flow of fentanyl across the northern border, using it to justify the tariff escalation. I said I'll get to that in a second. About 101 pounds of fentanyl were seized, according to official reports, between the Canada-U.S. border in 2024 and year-to-date so far in 2025. Trump offered to consider an adjustment if Canada cooperates with on more fentanyl enforcement. Canada had earlier imposed 25% counter tariffs on a range of U.S. exports, for example, steel, aluminum, food, computers, etc. Ottawa, though, which is the capital of Canada, emphasized that its countermeasures would remain in place until the U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs are lifted. Just to give you some idea of how much our countries trade with one another, U.S. and Canada goods trades reach about $76.8 billion in 2024, with about a $62 billion U.S. trade deficit, meaning that you buy more from us than we buy from you. The deficit has grown nearly 10% year over year in the first 5 months of 2025, so it's something that's getting worse, not better. The tariff letter follows resumed trade talk on June 29th, aiming for a deal by July 21st. That was when Mark Carney, the new Prime Minister of Canada, also said he was looking to strike a deal. I think it was like 30 days back in June, late June, he made that statement there. That's why the July 21st date there's. Joseph, anything you want to add?
Yeah. I mean, I think Mark Carney is going to handle this pretty well. 35%. It's just a letter. Nothing's for certain just yet, but I do think that the Canadian government will handle it.
Okay, so let's get to the fentanyl issue now. So a lot's been made about this fentanyl thing. And initially, commentators as well as myself were of the opinion that Donald was using that as the legal foundation for the tariffs.
That's correct.
More information has come to light. Whether you believe this information or not, that's not the point. More information has come to light that the Mexican cartels have been buying the fentanyl precursors directly from China and having them shipped into the port of Vancouver to be synthesized and processed in Canada because the border, the northern border, that is far less guarded and obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
they don't track
vast.
it nearly as much. It's huge, it's vast, and mostly unguarded. So the fentanyl, according to intelligence sources, has been coming in from the north, and this number that I just read out, 101 pounds, is a grossly underreported number because there's no official stats. Whether you believe that or not, I'm not stating that either way, that is what is now being talked about. But you can also make the case that that narrative could be released by those who are looking to rely on it.
Yeah, totally. So to add to your point, I heard it was just a small percentage point. I think it was like less than 3% of it was coming from north of the border into the United States. The majority of it was coming from Mexico.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah. So again, it was just obviously a means to kind of implement the tariffs onto Canadians. So,
And the Chinese obviously have some responsibility here. These precursors are mostly coming from China. And they block some, but the let's call them the chemists figure out different precursors to use, and so the ones that you put on the blocked list are all of a sudden not being used anymore, and you have different ones. Anyway, digressing a little bit.
And we know that, unfortunately, Western Canada, BC, has a bad problem.
It's horrible.
It's really, really bad.
Let's go on to Bitcoin. Fresh highs as ETF flows surge. So Bitcoin rose to a high, an intraday high, I should say, of $118,872, marking its first record since May 22nd of this year. ETH also jumped well higher, nearly 7%, reclaiming, at least for the moment, the $3,000 level for the first time since February. Both cryptos continue riding strong tailwinds from institutional demand and macro catalysts. Just to give you an idea here, Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs, pulled in $1.18 billion just yesterday. Just yesterday, the biggest single day inflow of the 2025 so far. ETH also saw a nice, respectable $383.1 million in inflow. That's ETH's second best day, ever. So good luck there. This surge in ETF demand signals growing mainstream and institutional participation. The rally momentum picked up on Wednesday after the Fed minutes revealed there were divisions among Fed members over rate cut timing. Markets are pricing in a more dovish future Fed, particularly with leadership changes now being possible, with Donald Trump basically attacking Jerome Powell every day now. Since April 17th, when the Fed independence became a hot topic, with basically Donald Trump saying that he was going to fire or possibly fire Jerome Powell, Bitcoin ETF inflows have hit nearly 16 billion. That's since April 17th. These themes are resonating with funds seeking inflation-resistant and decentralized alternatives. And in the past 24 hours alone, the shorts have absolutely been wiped out, Joseph. Yep. $650 million in Bitcoin short liquidations, mostly forced, as well as $250 million in ETH short liquidations, again, as you get that margin call or that margin message on your phone.
Boom.
Nobody likes
you
that.
You wake up with nothing in the old account there. No, just to add to your point, Sharif,
Sure.
IBIT was the most successful, not let alone the inflows from yesterday. It was the most successful ETF launch of all time. Of all time. So that just shows you the adoption of this name. And now that you have the ability to use this and trade this vehicle within the markets, and you're not necessarily in that crypto, in the world of crypto where everybody's like, it's kind of sketchy, etc. Well, now you can actually trade it like a regular financial instrument. And I'm not saying that it's not regular, but now you can trade it on the actual exchanges, which I think is really important. And you can see here now, if we pull up my screen, we do have some consistent downtrends on the day. We do get that nice recovery, but with a high of around 67.56, and I think that's going to put it around that $118,000 mark. I don't think this run is over just yet. This underlying will need to take a breath before it does take an additional leg higher.
Well
but I like what Michael Noss said this morning. Well, I like it because I'm obviously bullish on the underlying. Is that 160 is his bull case, and then I think 136 is his base case, which I like a lot.
Okay. Love it. I like both those numbers. Let's go on to Nvidia. So Jensen Huang was in Washington, D.C. yesterday. He met with Donald Trump. That is ahead of his China trip. He's leaving there today. There were no official details disclosed by either party, but it's widely believed the discussions centered around U.S.-China trade tensions, as well as obviously AI chip restrictions. I can't imagine them talking too much about anything else, maybe golf. Trump's April restrictions halted Nvidia's H20 chip to China, prompting criticism, obviously, from Jensen Huang. Nvidia expects about an $8 billion revenue hit in Q2 after already taking a $2.5 billion shortfall in Q1 and has removed China entirely from its forward guidance. So China no longer part of Nvidia's forward guidance as a result of the issues with the tariffs. The national security concerns obviously continue to weigh on the AI chip trade, with Chinese firm DeepSeek kind of throwing everybody a curveball in the beginning of the year, who found workarounds to get their hands on a bunch of H100s, the Hopper, which is not the leading chip anymore, Joseph, which is undermining, obviously, the effectiveness of the U.S. chip export ban.
Absolutely. Well, you know where I stand with this NVDA stuff. We talk about the golf deals. Fantastic. That's what really led me to start swinging this name as well, too, because I think that's fantastic for NVDA. But also something that I found out and I read the other day that was really interesting is that NVDA's autonomy sector is a sleeper. And did you know how, like big time. Do you know how much data those things can chew up in an hour? So when one autonomy vehicle in 6 minutes, I think in 1 hour of driving, feels as much data as 260 iPhones can hold.
Wow, that's
right?
crazy.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
And let's not forget about the robotics too. Remember the Jetson? It's like a super small GPU, and it's supposed to be made literally for these autonomous robots and humanoids or whatever. And what I loved, what it was, they called it Jetson.
Jetson. There
so
you go.
so close to Jetson.
To Jensen.
Right.
So
maybe nobody saw it. All right, let's talk about Rubio. Your boy Rubio out there in Malaysia. He's in Kuala Lumpur. He's meeting with his Chinese counterpart. Wang, who is the Chinese foreign minister. This was the first face-to-face between top U.S. diplomats. I know that Scotty B did meet with other Chinese counterparts in Switzerland, but this is the highest level meeting so far since Trump's return to office. The meeting, though, is seen as a groundwork for a potential future Trump-Xi presidential summit to be announced. We'll wait to see when the date is. The dialogue here aims to build on the recent U.S.-China trade truce, despite ongoing political tensions.
What happened?
Your boy Chilean Nightmare there poked his head through. The market-sensitive sectors like semis, autos, industrials, etc., could see relief on easing tariff risks, so be on the lookout for that. And Xi Jinping, he invited Donald Trump to China during that June phone call. U.S. officials are reportedly gauging the business leader interest in joining Trump on the trip. So like when we had Huang, Musk, and everybody else weasel on over to Saudi, Qatar, Dubai with Donald. Donald is looking to see whether American business leaders want to weasel on over with him to China to meet Xi. I think I would not mind seeing that whatsoever.
I would love that. I think that'd be fantastic
for the market.
I think that'd be absolutely fantastic for the market. There's no questioning that. And I think the better that these deals get made, then obviously the market is just going to give more of a tailwind for these markets.
Well said,
so
man.
yeah, a lot of positive things maybe on the horizon or not. It could go totally south. You never know with Donald. This guy could say he went into a meeting with Xi, said the meeting went great, and then 2 hours later say, no, this guy is horrible. China's been treating us horrible. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, dude. It's so good. That's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Get it, Donald. Show him who you are, baby.
Show him.
All right, let's go on to Levi's over here. I didn't really review Levi's because I knew Brenda wouldn't put it on the rundown, and I was right, but Levi's did well. I don't know where they're up or down, whether it sold off, but Q2 adjusted EPS, Joey came in at 22 pennies. The street was looking for 13, so it was a beat there on the bottom line. The top line here came in at $1.45 billion in revenue, which was up 6% year over year and ahead of the consensus, $1.37 billion, so a beat on the top and bottom line. Net income as well rose to $67 million. That's up from $18 million that they printed the same time last year on the quarter. Gross margins as well hit a record high of 62.5%. 62.5% for a physical good is very high.
Retail,
That's very high.
That is
so,
crazy.
yeah, man, like usually you see that in a SaaS or software. You don't typically see that with a physical product, save and except for Nvidia that still has somehow 75% gross margins, which is insane. That's why it's a $4 trillion company, baby. What the hell was that?
I don't know. What the hell?
So with respect to the guide for Levi's, they're guiding full year EPS now between $1.25 to $1.30. That's up from the previous guide of $1.20 to $1.25, so the street likes that. Revenue growth as well, they raised it 1% to about 2% year over year revenue growth, again, ahead of the previous forecast, which actually was guiding a decline. So everything would look good there. I'm not going to talk about their direct-to-consumer business. I don't think too many people care about Levi's. If you do, you can do your own research. Anything on Levi's, Joseph?
No, not anything on Levi's, but I seen someone in the chat mention UNH. UNH getting a big volume spike and a breakout through from that 300 level there. So some big-time moves on UNH. Thank you guys for pointing that one out as always there. So a big time move, and then look, here it is. 300, we're holding that base, so maybe just a technical move off of these lows. And I mentioned that eventually you're going to probably fill this gap up, but it's just only a matter of time until when, right? Well, I shouldn't say only a matter of time, but I think eventually it will. UNH will get into that realm. But we still got this TQ short working out relatively well for us, Sharif. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit off right there. Is your thing not working or what? I heard you. Oh, did you hit it though?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. What did Brenda say?
Because I said he wouldn't put Levi's on the rundown. He heard me and he messaged. All right, he messaged what he messaged, but it's funny. Anyway, Adair, get it.
This is a UNH. I'm not seeing any news on this. Looks like potentially you could argue a breakout here of that at that 301 level. But some people here are talking about some, I guess, 307.50 calls on this for next week. I'm not an options person, but people on X are getting, I guess, a little bit excited about this name. If there is any news on it, I'll let you know. Apparently they announced a new head of Medicare last night, or Medicaid last night, but nothing huge. And we're going to send you back to the guys for the ad read.
All right, guys, new traders, listen up. First month free, that's right, we're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite, analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets all at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description right there, folks.
All right, let's go on to Amazon. They get a price target hike today from Morgan Stanley. Morgan loving Amazon says the worst is behind them. They boosted the price target to $300, up from $250, maintaining Adara that overweight rating. Their new target implies a 35% upside from the previous close of $222, but that's not their their best case scenario. Their bull case for Amazon is actually $350. That's a 60% gain, making Amazon the firm's top pick. That's a statement right there from Morgan Stanley. They also adjusted what they perceive to be the 2026 EPS forecast. They raised it to 9% to about $8, back in line with the Q1 estimate before that 145% tariff kind of changed things. That's been, at least for the moment, priced out. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, what happens. But for the moment, they're pricing that out. You want to cover something?
Oh wow! Did I just
you go long?
Yeah, obviously I.
Of course. Well, that was my day yesterday.
Wow.
2027 EPS forecast also revised upwards by 6%. So they're looking 2 years deep here, and they like both years. 9% for next year, 6% for the year after, and they're saying the macro and the geopolitical outlook has significantly improved since the mid-April kind of chaos, helping ease tariff-related downside fears. And they also cite AWS as a key acceleration driver. They like the increased enterprise demand. They also like Azure's generative AI strength, and they like the CIO survey, which confirmed to them the adoption of the momentum Adara.
Tariff, we have to talk here about Kraft Heinz, KHC. So I need to provide some context here for this as well. Basically, in 2015, we did have Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway and 3G Capital merging H.J. Heinz with Kraft Foods. That's when Kraft Heinz Company was created. Well, I had to provide that context because the story is apparently Kraft Heinz is weighing a breakup plan just a decade after this merger. They're considering spinning off Kraft grocery unit into a separate $2 billion entity, and they would retain sauces and spreads, including Heinz and Grey Poupon. So So keep an eye here on KHC. Again, a decade after that merger into Kraft Heinz, are considering actually splitting up the company, including a potential $20 billion sale of its grocery unit. Again, this is not confirmed. It's just a report. Back to you.
He's, I think, what is it, welterweight?
That's got to be super welterweight. He's got to be 154, 160.
Yeah. He
He's
wants
bigger.
to fight heavyweight. Yo, that's one of my favorite boxers.
Heavyweight?
He wants to fight heavyweight, yeah.
Who does he think he is, Roy Jones?
That's exactly who he said he was trying to be.
Yeah, and Roy Jones said fighting John Ruiz was the worst thing he ever did because he had to cut all that muscle, and he didn't give himself enough time to drop to fight 175, and he's been complaining about that since.
Yeah, Edgar Berlanga, one of my favorites, right out of Puerto
Fighting
Rico.
this weekend, that's what Joey and I are talking about there.
Pull up my chart here, guys. I messed up large right here. You can see that we were short, and then I accidentally sold. I bought back too much, and it flipped me long, and then sure enough, I just punched out right there, but I was just going to piece it out, put some orders down here, and look for that move back towards the volume-weighted average price. So that's unfortunate. But again, I didn't have any much size on that one, so it's okay. We're not going to lose too much sleep about that trade. But it was a nice short off of those highs. And unfortunately, we made a little fat finger mistake. So that's all right. I was too focused on my burrito taco.
All right. People loving the way you said poupon there in the chat there, Adara. Get it, Adara. All right, guys, let's talk a little big tech here. Google looking at giving the government a discount on cloud, looking at getting Donald's good books. And as you'll see in a second, other hyperscalers are looking at doing it as well. So Google plans to offer steep discounts on its cloud computing service to the U.S. federal agencies. The deal is expected within weeks and aligns with Donald Trump's broader efforts to slash federal spending. The government-wide adoption could drive about $2 billion in savings for the government on a yearly basis. Oracle already doing that. They're already offering a 75% discount on license-based software and substantial savings, according to them, on cloud services through November. This sets competitive pricing precedent for peers also seeking to get federal contracts. And as I mentioned, discounts from Amazon, Azure, and Amazon's AWS are expected to be announced soon. A senior GSA official said all major vendors are totally bought in, quote unquote, and aligned with the mission. The deal could lead to large-scale cloud migration across multiple federal agencies, and April's Google offer of a 71% discount for its business app suites highlights the aggressive positioning. So you got to wonder here, is this about making money, or is this about getting that government monkey off your back, off your shoulder.
Yep.
Because you don't want Donald, investigating you, so you throw him some savings here and there. So that's what is being talked about by some of these cloud providers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be two big things that the street is going to be looking at. There is cloud growth, and then obviously how much market share they're losing to ChatGPT via search. So I think those are going to be two very, very important metrics leading into Google's earnings report. And I think if cloud beats and they don't lose as much of market share to ChatGPT. Excuse me, this thing's going all time.
That's a good taco there.
Yeah, they're all gone now.
Oh my God. Let's talk some Tesla here. They're eyeing a RoboTaxi expansion. I gotta love this. This is what I want to hear, Elon. All right. Tesla has formally applied to test and operate its RoboTaxi fleet out in Phoenix, Arizona. The state's transportation department is expected to reach a decision by the end of July. Tesla applied to have both with and without a human driver, signaling obviously ambitions, I should say, for full autonomy. Elon confirmed plans to expand RoboTaxi to the San Francisco Bay Area on X. He said in a month or two. The move is contingent, obviously, on receiving the necessary regulatory approvals, which are still pending. But here's a little bit of a wrench in what could be, what is otherwise a good story. When questioned, the California DMV said Tesla hasn't actually applied for driverless testing or deployment permits in the state. Huh? What happened to a few weeks here in San Francisco Bay Area? Did San Francisco move out of California? This could delay, obviously, entry into a critical market where rivals are already operating, i.e. Waymo. So this is not what you want to hear. And I did anticipate, just personally here, beef between the California DMV or the regulator and Elon. Let's just call a spade, okay? Elon has a very contentious relationship with Gavin Newsom, who's still at the head. And he probably doesn't have a lot of love lost with a lot of these bureaucrats in California. That's just kind of how I see things. So I don't anticipate him to have an easy time with California regulators. Anything you got on this one, Joey Options?
I do not right this
Okay, let's go on to the next one over here. CoreWeave downgraded on valuation despite a strategic acquisition gain. So Needham, this is yesterday. CoreWeave actually got an upgrade today, but as you can see, it's still down. So Needham downgraded CoreWeave from a buy to hold, citing valuation concerns. Until yesterday, anyway, the stock was up 282% and change over 6 months and was valued at, I don't know where the market cap is now, it's about $73.5 billion, which was trading at about 41 times their 2026 EBIT. The analyst at Needham, Michael Sykos, noted, "We believe valuation is full stop, despite strategic positives from the Core Scientific deal." So that Core Scientific deal, guys, the acquisition is expected to save CoreWeave about $10 billion in lease overhead over a period of 12 years. And it's projected to about have $500 million in annual run rate savings by the end of 2027. It's also reducing CoreWeave's operating expenses and lowers their capital cost through the data center-backed ABS financing. However, CoreWeave still operating at a significant loss with EPS at negative $5.19 over the last 12 months. The high growth narrative here has been priced in aggressively with profitability still a few years out. And just to give you an idea of how other analysts feel about this, Mizuho downgraded them to neutral, but did raise the price target to 150. Stifel as well, downgrade to hold, raising the price target to 115. And Macquarie maintained neutral with a price target of 65.
All right, guys, listen up. VinFast is making big moves. After locking in 40% of Vietnam's EV market, they're now entering India. They've teamed up with MyTVs and others to expand service and charging access. Their edge, a full EV ecosystem, cars, charging, and ride-hailing, tickers, VFS, one to watch in the global EV race there. All right, now we're off to Adara there, folks.
To opine a little bit here, I did some research into the RoboTaxi permit situation. So apparently Texas is a lot easier than California to get these permits approved. Apparently, I couldn't find exactly how long it takes, but it does, of course, take some modicum of time for them to go over and review everything. But yeah, apparently they did actually issue the first series of permits that's required by Tesla in California back in March, but they have not applied for any further permits. So they've done part of the job, but certainly not enough of the job for Elon to say they're going to open like next week or whatever. Well, yeah, so that was the California Public Utilities Commission. It's unclear. Apparently, so far it has a transportation charter party carrier permit. But here's the thing, Sharif. That's what's really interesting here. The only permit they have, which is that it's called a TCP, that's the Transportation Charter Party Carrier Permit. That very long mouthful of a permit is apparently typically associated with chauffeur-operated services. So what it does is allow Tesla to control a fleet of vehicles and transport, apparently specifically employees, on prearranged trips. What it doesn't do, though, of course, it doesn't include the autonomous aspect. It doesn't seem like it includes the taxi or customer aspect either. Again, I want to I'll do a lot more research, but I just wanted to provide that quick little window that I just read here. Tesla apparently might have a little bit of a battle here for California because Texas is apparently a lot less stringent in how it regulates these autonomous vehicles. Back to you.
Reporting it, Derek. Thank you for that. Yeah, good look there. Good to understand exactly what's going on here and what the different permits are. Guys, Derek, I'm going to shut you out, by the way. Over here, INKT is on the way down, guys. It just lost $60. It had been defending $60 for a little bit. Here it comes. It looks like the short might be in right now on INKT. Be on the lookout for this one. It's still up 663%, but it looks like the shorts are in control now. This one, zigging and zagging, just lost the 10, just lost the 20, and I'm about to get that death cross right now between the 10 and the 20, which is about to cross it to the downside, and here it goes down into 57, Joey. So this one, it looking like it's about to lose the bid and lose it aggressively, baby.
Yeah,
There.
nice look there, brother. Someone in the chat mentioned a bull flag on NVDA. Maybe possibly, but I just want to note this, and I got caught in this the other day. So let's look at the difference here, right? So this is the one where I was actually short, and it turned out into a long, and I kind of want to compare the two scenarios to see what's going to happen out. All right, I like these talks. So on this one, you can see we're continuously forming these higher lows, right? You can see it on there, and the flat top is approximately right here. So higher lows with the flat top on the top end of the range. All right, so you have that wedge forming right there, and then it eventually breaks up. So what is my comparison here today is that that's kind of the opposite of what we're seeing. We're seeing lower highs, right? So you can see these continuous lower highs with the flat bottom being obviously at the lower end of the range. Now, for me personally, obviously you can get a program to step in and you break through this downtrend, you sit on the backside of it and you start ripping, but you need volume to really kick in. So for me personally, I don't know if this is going to be a bull flag breakout. Obviously, if I did, we would be able to put on a really, really nice trade on that. But for me, what I had from previous experience is that I wouldn't be surprised if this broke down, because what's happening, we're having the inability to construct any new higher highs, all right? They're all lower highs, opposed to the other scenario where I went wrong, and just learning from our lessons is that we have these higher lows, right? And then eventually you break out. So what is that telling me? That we don't have the ability to construct any new lows, and buying pressure is slowly getting slightly more aggressive as you are forming these higher lows. And that's the inverse scenario of what I see going on. We're having a hard time. There's no buying pressure. It's sellers continuously selling the top end of this channel or the top end of that range there, Sharif.
All right, Al View wants to know what kind of protein we use.
I told him I don't even, I just eat my protein.
Oh, okay.
I don't even, consume other than the odd muscle milk, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I just get the Costco one, man. I think it's called Slim Fit or something. It's got 25 grams per scoop. It's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing crazy. It's got some BCAAs and it's got a little glutamic acid.
I used to drink. I don't know. You've probably seen this one at Popeyes. ISO XP.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most popular one.
Isolate.
Yeah.
So it's got whey. It's got isolate instead of whey.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
yeah, I mean,
that was my favorite.
Yeah, there's all the different ones. I mean, I don't think that's really going to make or break. It's really going to be about the consistency, and that's really what it comes down to. I don't think it's really the protein selection. I know a guy that gets like a 1 pound tub for like $100.
Oh, really?
Like he's just super
cheap.
No, it's a 1 pound
tub.
Oh,
1 tub.
Pound,
oh, yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
It's super expensive.
That's the expensive stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't personally think that's.
Yeah, because the ISO XP is like $120 for like the 3.5.
3.5 pound.
I think one would. I think that's whenever it comes in, right?
I mean,
So
it's expensive, obviously, but it's better than a pound. So yeah, that's kind of all I use. But I do take 5 milligrams or 5 grams, excuse me, of creatine twice daily. So you guys know that I work out at 5 a.m. I do my morning session super quick, half an hour session. As soon as I'm done that, I have my only protein shake of the day. And with that protein shake, I'll take 5 grams of creatine. And then later on, when I work out again after work, I'll take a creatine, 5 grams of creatine again, so total 10 in the day, and I'll take my branched chain amino acids, my BCAAs. I'll sip that while I'm working out. That's literally the only thing that I take. So I have 1 protein shake a day, 2 times I take creatine, and 1 time during my workout I have branched chain amino acids. That's really all that you need. I mean, I know some people are looking at EAAs now as opposed to BCAAs, essential amino acids. To me, it's like, whatever, bro. It's worked for me, and I don't really feel like changing it. So that is my my look there. But really what it's going to come down to is day in, day out. Are you willing to be restrictive on your diet?
Yep.
And are you willing to kind of push that next rep and try to get better a little bit every day? Because your body's not going to change if you don't push harder, because it's just going to adapt and be like, okay, well, I handled it yesterday, so I don't really need to improve. I don't need to cut weight. I don't need to burn more calories. I don't need to add more mass. So
Absolutely.
make sure that you're always trying to, just like with trading, you take a little bit more size, whatever, you're always improving, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
your diet is immaculate, I must say.
I'm going to smash some tennis. I'm going to the clay courts again.
Today?
No, Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Going to tennis. We're going to play with the membership person there. And but it's hilarious, bro, because she was actually better than me.
Yeah.
Because she's a country club baby.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she's been taking tennis all her life. And so she was actually better. She could place the ball better. She had better cuts. And now I'm starting to improve. But she always getting mad because I smashed the ball too hard. And she can't
there you go.
handle it. She's not
Well,
fast enough. I'm sorry, you're too slow.
So
bro.
you haven't had any issues with the tarp since you've been back?
What tarp? Oh, yeah, no. I keep it on now. And it was so funny. I took my shirt off one day while we were playing tennis, and then the club manager goes up to her and tells her, your guest has to put on his shirt. I was like, I understand English.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I can respond. It's not a big deal. I don't understand, Neil. People were getting upset. I'm like, okay. No, well, man. I mean, I'm a kind guy, right?
I am kind.
I wasn't gonna touch anybody.
I am kind.
But yeah, that's we're gonna
game.
smash some tennis. Probably be in your backyard tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Humber Bay area. My cousin's coming down.
Oh, nice.
Gonna probably
Head over to that neck of the woods?
Yeah, we're gonna rent some bikes.
Oh,
Probably
you're gonna rent the bikes?
Yeah, we're gonna
Let's
rent the
go.
bikes
That's my
all
new
day.
favorite thing to do, man.
It's actually sick, man.
I've seen the funniest thing ever. Sorry to digress.
Yeah,
So,
go for
anyways, in Liberty Village, there's a lot of these bikes that you can rent in the city, right? And there's probably a station about 100 meters away from another one. You know how they have the racks? I'm literally walking Milo. I see this guy hop on the bike, drive the bike to the next station, hop off, and then go. And I'm like, all right, that's actually comical, because he's like, hey, it saved
Probably
him.
has unlimited.
Well, probably has unlimited, but it's 12 cents a minute. It probably took him 5 seconds to drive from point A to point B.
was that?
And he's like, yeah, that's it. But I figured he was doing that to get to his house, which is slightly, gets closer to the other one, right? But it's like, okay, that's how crazy this was. It's literally like 150 meters from point A to point B.
My only beef with these things,
Awesome.
sometimes like when you rent one and you come to drop it off, there's nowhere to drop it off, so you got to keep going to other ones and keep going.
Yeah,
that's kind of a little annoying there.
You know what? You know what's sick though? They didn't charge me for a couple of my rides.
How come?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it said that I docked my bike early, and I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Go ahead, Adara.
Just keep an eye here on PENN. That is Penn Entertainment. Apparently, there's a report from Legal Sports Report, which it seems like it's a sports-related website here. They're saying that there is, quote, increasing probability that Penn will be exiting its ESPN bet deal. Not super moving the stock here, but just be aware, apparently, Penn potentially, or very likely, apparently, possibly exiting its ESPN deal. Back to you.
Yes, K-Dub, I do not wear wife beaters. I don't think I even have one, man. Yeah, I've got tank tops, Katia, man, but I mean like a tight white one, you know, like the old school was. I'm assuming that's what you meant by wife beater there, but all right, guys, look, there's one exception to the retracements that we're getting right now on all of the small cap gappers. Take your pick. There's 2 exceptions, UMAC and Z, sorry, my American friends again, ZEPP. These ones are still hanging out at highs. So is NEG. So I'm lying. 3 exceptions here. INKT is on the way down. SLNH on the way down. SFRM on the way down. Workhorse straddling VWAP on the way down. SQNS lost the volume weighted average price. This one needs to be removed from the side chart. So UMAC, ZEPP, and NEGG still putting in higher highs and higher lows. It does, though, feel like UMAC might have some selling here at 13 bucks, because you're getting a bunch of topping tail candles all above 13, but just be on the lookout for the break of the 10 and then finally the 20, because it did have two areas where it found support at the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart on the way up. So if it did that once, it did it twice, it could realistically do it a third time. Currently, the 20 exponential moving average on the 5 showing me at around 12.5 on UMAC. With respect to ZEPP, this one's a bit more spready and a little more volatile. As you can see, it's kind of had a propensity to put in new highs and then retrace. Kind of did it over here as well as it got to that 1010 area and then dropped back down into about 960. But it held all these levels. You can see it held the 10, the 20 as well. So that one, it could be one going into the afternoon if you're trading these small cap gappers. The other ones, I would be careful. I would definitely be keeping my eye on Workhorse because it's been super strong on the day. And right now, Workhorse has been putting in a 4-candle hold up at the volume weighted average price. It's neither popping off above it or dropping below it, but it's something to keep an eye on there. WKHS, and then last but not least, Joseph, SLNH. This one was good to me all day, and it did defend the volume weighted average price over here at 1045, again at 1135, and yet again at 130. But we are now putting in multiple lower highs in a way that we did not do all day. So be on the lookout for aggressive selling here. It looks like the seller is maybe in control now.
Yep, thank you for the good stuff there, Sharif. All right, guys, let's do it. We only got a couple minutes left here. Let's just go over a quick trade review. We went 3 for 3 on the Qs today, so that's not too bad there, guys. This was our first one, definitely the better one of the session. So there it is. You enter, boom, boom, boom. You add into this pop, and then you get stopped out about 20%. Same thing here. You get in there, boom, boom, boom. You get out break even, and then sure enough, you get into that newer high, and then a little bit of a fat finger mistake as it came right into the volume weighted average price, but all 3 of them slightly profitable trades on there. Now let's pull up our other one on the day. That will be IBIT. Continue to recover. I think once it breaks that downtrend, then we're going to have ability to continue to climb higher. But we just go 1 for 1 on this one. You can see we enter, add a little bit there, it takes them off, and then we did get stopped out. Oops, the majority of our position there, guys. So that is okay on IBIT. And then our final one of the session was Delta Airlines earnings. Day 2. This was a really nice trade, more of a slow grind though, guys, but a nice recovery back into these pre-market ranges. I mean, that's a really good look, and this is what your boy did. So bag dropper right there, fumbling the bag is what we would like to call this one, and that's exactly what happened. We take it first attempt, get stopped out, and then we take that second attempt, and then we didn't get stopped out. We chickened out essentially right there. So Devin Haney hands on that one there, guys. Yeah.
Oh
so, yeah.
my God. I don't know what the hell to say. Some of these comments, bro. Assassino,
what happened?
Are we able to do it soon or? Yeah.
What are we doing here live?
We're doing it live, bro. All right.
Go ahead.
Looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, the SPY, or even Bitcoin. If you are, Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to about $1 million in capital. And you choose your own path, guys. You can choose instant funded, you can choose challenge, or you can even choose the pro account and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. And in the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million in real profits and earned over 1,000 5-star reviews from real traders just like you. So if you're interested, use that discount code TTV to save on any account of your choice. Scan that QR code or head on over to top1futures.com and start trading towards your next payout. The show is over, Joseph. It's 2 o'clock, but we're going to weasel on over to Dara before we go over to the big boys. Solid week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very
Everybody
solid week. Yeah,
has a fantastic weekend and be safe.
Yeah, make sure you be safe, guys.
So I want to let you guys know we did just get the U.S. federal budget balance. So it came in at positive $27 billion versus the forecast here of negative $30 billion. Just a quick update there. Not a huge number.